This is a video I probably should have made 2 years ago, but the person it's about is a parasite who thrives off of attention and controversy. He himself comes forward and says he only does these things so people will make videos about him. His name is Maximilian0. He's the oh yeah yeah guy. It's the only thing he's ever done. It's the 15 minutes of fame that he continues to milk the very dry titties of to this day, to command a troop of 13-year-olds to harass, dox, threaten, and do all kinds of deplorable shit to other people online from all sizes. People that have 2 viewers on Twitch to big streamers to big content creators. He does some absolutely degenerate shit, and I truly think he is one of the most vile, foulest people to ever use the platform and abuse the power that he found online. I was never a fan of his content, but I never really had a problem with him as a person. It wasn't my cup of cum, but I didn't care. I don't watch it, it didn't matter to me. He even used to stop into my streams when I streamed on YouTube and just be super nice. So I had a positive impression of the guy until he decided to open Pandora's box and create a Discord channel for his YouTube community with the sole purpose of harassing and bullying as many people as he could find online. And he tried to weaponize them by having them go to streamers' streams and spam racist and homophobic shit by his orders and spam Max Gang with it, hoping to get the streamers banned for it. And from what I remember, some of them did get banned, but the ones that didn't just had a really bad time because he had the whole Discord go bully them. He did this to my channel back in the day. He did it recently, which is why I'm talking about it now.
Of the Discord, which is the oh yeah guy. Now, this is what he does. So if you read the post, it says, everyone, go to this live stream, type Weast Raid, Weast Gang, and say homophobic stuff, and spam, and be racist, and sexist, and mean, and also Max Gang. And then
the reason why he had them saying Weast Gang is because that's a YouTuber that he didn't like, so he wanted to make it sound like all of the homophobic and racist shit was coming from that guy's community, hoping he'd get banned for it. He did this for other streamers as well, and he'd target small streamers and hopefully get that streamer plus the guy that he was impersonating banned as well. It was really just deplorable shit. And yeah, this is some horrible shit, but it gets worse. He also would have his followers go to other people's channels and force them to do things, like there was a man that had a mental illness that he went to the channel and forced him to eat his own shit on stream. He was threatening and having his community threaten to find and kill him if he didn't do everything Max said.
So, hold Mr. BTFO close to your mouth. It's time to eat him. To show the... Don't eat them. Just push through. You don't give a fuck. Eat all of it.
For obvious reasons, I had to crop the video so you can't see him eating his own shit, but he also had him right on his stomach in his own feces. It's just extremely fucked up, and Max is laughing about it the whole time and threatening him through it. It is really hard to sit there and watch. It's like watching a fucking ISIS video. Like, it looks like this guy's being held captive by Max. There was also this content creator that Max targeted, a very small creator who was just making some things because he was having fun. He took his whole community to bully the shit out of him relentlessly. He ended up crying and profusely apologizing, begging for the bullying to stop, which, of course, Max didn't.
Forgiveness. Just please stop harassing me, please. I beg for forgiveness. Please have mercy. Please.
The guy was going through a really hard time. He started apologizing profusely, begging for the bullying to stop, which Max didn't let it. I'm not going to show you any of that because it's beyond disturbing. Maximilian0 would also have his community reach out to YouTubers and have a guy put things up his asshole, take it out and eat it for them, to try and disturb them and shock them. He would have live streams where he'd have his fans get naked, and they'd make fun of the naked fans and have them do other gross shit, usually to their butthole. It's really fucking weird shit. Over the course of a couple months, Max then had his community dox Weast, and then threatened to go to his house and kill him and his family. He then had his community target Weast's girlfriend, whose father had recently passed away, to insult her father and bully the shit out of her about her dad's passing. And he had this to say about it. There's no remorse because this guy is truly trash.
The situation was bully Weast's girlfriend about her father, who had recently passed away.
Okay.
And then I saw this opportunity where she was like, oh, my dad died, and I sent some people, and, you know, that was because I wanted him to make a video. I still think maybe I probably shouldn't have done it. It was not my best moment, but I would do it again.
There were a number of articles written about Max at the time by sites like Dexerto, talking about the drama and how Max had been accused of harassing Weast. Instead of denying it, he just did interviews where he shamelessly admitted that he had done it and that he didn't care.
If I got him banned, honestly, I think that would have been funny. I don't really care that much about it.
Max desperately craves attention. As he self-admits, the only thing he cares about is people talking about him and making videos and sucking his dick and sucking his asshole. That's all he cares about. So making a video is exactly what he wanted me to do. But the reason I'm doing it is because I feel like his audience that he has in his Discord right now, the one that's attacking my Discord because he told them to, probably doesn't know what kind of person Max actually is. I feel like the majority of people would be shocked to learn these things about Max, especially his stance on child pornography being shared in his community. Now, everything I've talked about up till this point isn't even the whole story behind this hemorrhoid. This is simply just the cherry on top of the massive queef cake that is Max. And that brings us to the reason and the biggest problem I have with Max and why I'm making this video today. He's recently popped his head out after hibernating for over a year, stewing in his own bodily fluids and filth, and he wanted to feel powerful again, so he set up another Discord to have people go in and harass streamers, and I was one of the targets. And when they targeted me, I mentioned saying Max Gang is like saying you're proud to be a pedophile. And the reason why I said this is because Maximilian himself will tell you the reason he remakes the Discord so many times is because his community shares so much child porn that he has to take it down because he worries that he himself will get arrested for it. Unfortunately, Max has scrubbed his entire Reddit and made it private, so all of the posts that were talking about the child porn plague that was sweeping through Maximilian's community, they're no longer there. His own posts about his stance on it are no longer there. However, I did find one thread that he overlooked where it does talk about it. It's this right here where they're talking about someone that was sharing child porn, and that was the reason it was taken down. This is the only one that survived the purge of Maximilian's subreddit, and I don't know how Max handles these things these days, but back then, he used to defend it, saying that the sharing of child porn was just an inside joke of his community. And he also took down people's videos that were talking about this. Like, here's a link to one, which is no longer available because Max struck it down. People were calling this out. People were talking about how Max is cultivating a community of people that are sharing child porn. Now, while you can't control every lunatic that's gonna watch your dog shit Fortnite trolling videos, you can control your response to it by banning them and making a statement saying that this shit is not okay. I've never seen Max say that. The only statements I saw him make in the past were that it's just jokes, and that's why he's remaking the servers. That's beyond fucked up, Max. It's an actual fucking felony. You can't just say, oh, no. You see, the child porn, it was just a goof. It was just for laughs, you know? Just, why aren't you laughing? Now, maybe Max handles these things totally different these days. Maybe he's went on a full soul-searching journey, locked himself in a sensory deprivation tank for a full year to find himself, and he realizes that the sharing of child porn isn't just hearty giggles and that it's wrong. Perhaps, though it doesn't seem like he's any different than he used to be 2 years ago, considering he is still making these Discords and having his community harass people and do deplorable things on his behalf. And he still makes weird jokes about himself being a pedophile. Like, here's what he said in his Discord after I said what I said on stream. Like, what the fuck is this, Max? Classic side-splitting comedy from Max. Ha ha ha. Yeah, you're a pedophile. Ha 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 ha. Good one, Max. So yeah, this is the Max that I knew, which is why I said those things about his community. Now, I do want to apologize because I shouldn't have made it a full blanket, because I know for 100% fact there's a lot of people in his Discord and in his community that don't know these things about Max, and I don't think they would feel comfortable supporting someone that thinks child pornography is just a joke in his following. That doesn't strike me as something many people agree with. So I do want to apologize to people that I hurt by saying those things when you probably just didn't know these things about Max to begin with. If you only watch his shitty content, you don't know what he's doing on Discord. And I realize that now, so I do want to apologize for that. However, if the community has to be remade over 50 times on Discord because child porn keeps getting shared, wouldn't you say there's a problem with that? I mean, you probably wouldn't, Max, because you used to defend it saying that it's just jokes, but most sane people would probably say that there's a big issue. But anyway, I just wanted to share some of these. This isn't everything. He's been doing this for years on a private Discord that he only allows X amount of people in for like an hour, and then he shuts it all off. He doesn't do any of this on YouTube. He doesn't do any of this publicly because he knows how fucked up it is. And I do want to again apologize to people that didn't know about these things and just think I was insulting them. I understand that not everyone was aware of these things about Max. There's a lot more, but it'd be like an hour-long video to go through all of it. So just understand that I didn't mean it personally towards people that didn't know this dark side of Max, where he's a Sith Lord of actual degeneracy. But yeah, anyway, that's about it. See ya. This is going to be the last video I make on this topic. I just feel obligated to give a little update, a slight follow-up to yesterday's video, since a lot has happened over the last 24 hours and a couple things have changed. Yesterday I posted a video talking about the most disgusting trend on YouTube right now, and over the last 24 hours, it's gotten worse. Just like a porta potty at an EDM music festival, it just keeps getting shittier. I'll quickly go ahead and slap you with the cliff notes on the trend that I'm talking about. A beloved YouTuber named Technoblade recently passed away, and some degenerate low-life douchebags have been trying to use that as a way of profiting, whether it's subscribers or actual money. So that's basically the meat of the situation here, and over the last 24 hours, it's gotten real wacky here. This has taken some really unpredictable twists here that not even M. Night Shyamalan could have written. One of these accounts that posted like 10 Technoblade videos faked a charity donation. I'll get into that in a minute, but it has been getting really fucking awful. But I want to start with the only piece of good news. Yesterday, I mentioned a channel called It's Owen, which was the channel that actually got banned for clickbaiting Technoblade's passing by making videos like Mr. Beast's final message to Technoblade and shit like that. His account got banished to the Shadow Realm for it, but he was trying to argue with them on Twitter to get it reinstated, and YouTube came out today and wiped their ass with his face, letting him know that he will not be getting his account back and he will not be able to make any further accounts. Which I think is huge because, as I mentioned, he had multiple other accounts that he was clickbaiting on and then turning around and selling on Twitter. So it seems like he's also lost access to all the other accounts too. God, that feels good to read. This is a rare YouTube W here. Just served him up a plate of spaghetti and meatballs. Hold the balls. He's off the platform for good, it seems, and in response to this cowardly weenie privated his Twitter account. The once proud Owen, who wasn't afraid to let the world and all the plebeians know that he doesn't give a fuck, and that he's proud to be called the king of clickbait, is all of a sudden hiding and retreating into the shadows like a spooked little goblin going back to his cave. I'm sure this won't be the end of Owen on the platform. I'm certain he'll pop up somewhere again with more clickbait, but this is still a great thing to see YouTube stick to their guns on what is the right decision, since his content actually was a violation of their policy. Now, unfortunately, that's the only sliver of good news in this awful situation, so I wanted to start with the dessert, so that way the vegetables will be more tolerable, and let's get into that now. The Dream SMP official channel. This is a channel I talked about yesterday. It's run by a guy named Runalong, who is not a Dream SMP member. This account is not official, despite the name saying it is, so it's already misleading and tricking people into thinking that this is actually made in collaboration with Dream SMP, when it's not. It's run by one guy. It is fully monetized, and yesterday, as of yesterday, they had posted 25 videos all on the passing of Technoblade, all fully monetized. Now, they've posted up to 27. And since I'm making this video at 5:30 p.m., I imagine by the time this video goes up, he'll probably have posted 1 or 2 more on Technoblade in that time. But right now, they have posted 27 videos all on Technoblade and his passing. In yesterday's video, I pulled up the Discord screenshots that someone had a conversation with Runalong and asked him about the money. He said that he's giving half of the money from the AdSense to charity. So, naturally, you can assume that he's keeping the other half, which means he is directly profiting off milking this Technoblade situation here. Now, he does say a portion in the messages, but I have to assume he meant like half, because a portion doesn't even sound like that much, but I'm guessing he meant half. In the beginning of some of his Technoblade videos, he puts a message on screen that's like this, where he says most of the money is going to charity, so it's a lot of mixed messages here, and then encourages viewers to not skip the ads, which, from what I've read, is almost a violation of the YouTube policy in and of itself. That's such a fucking weird thing to ask too. Don't skip the ads because then you're taking money away from charity. Why are you trying to guilt viewers like that? If the point of the content is to celebrate Technoblade's life, why the fuck are you going to try and make people feel bad if they're running ad block or skipping ads? That's already extremely douchey. And it should raise a lot of red flags to viewers as well, behind the actual motive of these videos. What's the intent? If it's supposed to be positive and celebrating Technoblade, why is there immediately an emphasis on money? The purpose of the videos isn't fundraising, because if it was, he would have put the fundraiser on the video, which he didn't, which is also mentioned in the screenshots. If it was all about raising money, there would be a fundraiser on the side of the video, just like every other video that tries to raise money for a good cause. But that's clearly not here, which means that can't be the reason for the videos. So then what the fuck is up with the emphasis on money and not skipping the ads in the beginning? That's shady as hell. That's so fucking sketchy. But even aside from the actual dollars going into his pocket from AdSense here, the channel has gained thousands of new subscribers from posting all of this content. 27 videos, and most of them are just extremely short, where it'll be like a minute and a half where Run Along took a screenshot of one person's community post and put text-to-speech over it. And then he'll publish the video, put ads on it, and call it a day. And then he'll do that multiple times a day. He's posted 27 videos like that in 5 days. He treats Technoblade's death as if it's a coin block in Super Mario Brothers for him, where he'll just jump up and hit it, but instead of getting a coin, he gets views out of it. It's so fucking gross. And like I said, it's not even just about the money. If none of his videos were monetized, the fact that he still made 27 of them shows very clear intent to gain as much from this situation as possible, so that way he can personally capitalize off it. There is no excuse for 27 videos on a tragedy like this. That's so fucked up. It's beyond scummy. However, Dream SMP Official sees it differently. Yesterday, Run Along, the owner of the account, posted a response to my video, as well as other people that called him out, and it is so laughably awful that it only existed for 21 minutes on the channel before Run Along realized how bad it was. But luckily there's a few re-uploads, so I'll go ahead and show you it.
Has recently come to my attention by people harassing me that there seems to be a problem. The Technoblade videos I've posted gathered a lot of hate, and YouTubers made videos on me for them. First, these YouTubers are getting millions of views commenting on the situation and making thousands of dollars by reacting to everything. This is super hypocritical while trying to expose me for not donating the money to charity.
Wrong. Just immediately wrong. Coming in here like Phoenix Wright with the objection here. I'm pretty sure he didn't even bother watching the videos. He probably just like read a couple comments and thought he understood the gist. I even made a point to say it's not about him donating the money to charity. The irrefutable fact is you have made 27 videos on the passing of Technoblade, whether that's getting streamer reactions to the news, or just looking at tweets about it, or just going to different moments of the past to put a Technoblade video out. That's an excessive amount of content, all focused on a tragedy. And yeah, the fact that they're fully monetized is a bit scummier, and the fact that you openly admit that only half of the AdSense is going to charity while I imagine you're keeping the other half is like Mr. Krabs level of greed. You know, it's not like these videos cost you anything to make. You took a screenshot and used free text-to-speech. These were free videos, so it's not like you had any overhead that you're needing to cover or anything. So yeah, that does make it even scummier. But it was never the crux of what I was talking about. You are profiting more than money with subscribers. Your channel is growing because you have made 27 videos milking a tragedy. You are profiting off the death of a beloved, great person, and I think it's shitty, as do most people. That's what you're getting all of the less than favorable reviews for, because you keep making videos on this. It's just disrespectful at this point, and you can't argue that it's a positive thing. You lost that right after your 20th upload on the subject. You just treat this as a view farm, a fucking cheat code for views, engagement, and subscribers. You also then draw a shitty comparison between what you're doing and the people that are calling you out. It's not hypocritical. The people that are calling you out, myself included, aren't profiting off Technoblade's passing like you are. We are, I guess, profiting off insulting the scumbags like you and calling you out for your dog shit behavior and this awful, degenerate shit that you keep unapologetically posting.
Most say that they highly doubt I'll donate anything while they don't even know me. People seem to not understand that it takes a month before YouTube pays you. Before jumping to conclusions, I will update everyone about my donation on the community tab or video showing me donating all the revenue from the Technoblade straight into charity. Have videos where it's either honoring his death or showing unrelated clips of his brother. All these YouTubers just hop on the hype train to profit for themselves.
Again, using charity as a shield here. It's not about the money, though you are singing a different tune publicly than you were privately. Apparently, you're claiming to donate all the money to charity now, so I guess that's a little bit better. But that was never the fucking point of the people calling you out, or at least it wasn't for me. It is you milking the situation and gaining so much on your channel for it. Subscribers are far more valuable than views, and you've gained a ton of them. So even if you donate all your AdSense revenue to charity, which is cool, I suppose, you have still profited so much off milking the situation with all the subscribers and popularity you've gained from this. And you can't take that back. Regardless of how much you donate to charity and this and that, you will forever be known as the insufferable asshole who took advantage of the passing of a fucking great person. That's your legacy now, whether you like it or not. And no matter what you say is not going to change my mind nor the minds of many others, because it is blatantly obvious with so many uploads on this subject what your intentions were. But now, since we're talking about charity here, let's talk about another commentator who tried to use charity as a shield. It's the channel I mentioned yesterday. I'm going to keep them anonymous because, again, I'm not trying to lead a brigade against any of these channels, Dream SMP included, but I do want to bring up what they did. This commentary channel posted 9 or 10 videos on Technoblade's passing. When he was called out for it, he then made a big hoopla about how all of it's actually going to charity and this was actually a noble thing he was doing. And then last night, he posted a video titled, "I donated $3,000 to charity," the Technoblade tribute, and I even mentioned it in last night's video, but it turns out that was entirely fake. They faked the donation. As if this situation couldn't get any more shameless, an actual fake charity donation video. Now, I saw this right before going to bed last night. It was posted by a YouTuber named Kat. Mudahar recently posted a video today on the situation where he goes into even more detail on how exactly the donation was faked, but I'm just going to give you like the brief summary here from Kat's video.
Yeah, we're gonna donate $3,000. Let's click I'm not a robot. Yeah, let's just get it over with. $3,000. Let's click I'm not a robot. Yeah, let's just get it over with.
Okay, so basically what he did was type in 3,000 and then it shows donate $3,000 with a comma, and then he actually cuts the video before he donates. And what he actually cuts out is basically he changes the amount to something lower, and then he used inspect element and then changed the amount to 3,000, but he forgot to add the comma.
Caught red-handed with his pants down in the cookie jar. This was an exposed in 4K moment for the cringe compilation. So now let's boot Scoot and Boogie into a more thorough explanation of what happened. This YouTube commentary channel made 9 or 10 videos on Technoblade's passing, and then in their donation video showed the revenue some of the videos had earned, and it was up to like 2.6K. Then said he was adding $300 of his own money to the pot to bring it up to a nice even 3,000, and then donated it in video. But this YouTuber Cat noticed that there was something wrong and figured out that what actually happened here is the commentary YouTuber faked it by using inspect element. So he initially typed in 3,000 to get a legitimate 3,000 donation on screen. He then cut the video, changed it to a lower amount, and then inspect elemented it to bring it back to 3,000, but forgot the comma. So a big whoops-a-daisy there, and it turns out he was absolutely right. That's exactly what the commentary channel did. In a follow-up video, the YouTuber posted the truth about my donation, where he openly admitted that he faked it. He said he was under so much pressure from the community to donate the money that he wanted to do it right away but didn't have $3,000, so he donated $300 of his own money and faked the rest and was planning on donating it once the money came in from YouTube. Of course, I don't know who the fuck would ever believe him. You'd have to be like actually clinically insane to trust this man, to take his word on anything. Faking a charity donation is about as low as it gets, but that was his explanation. He deleted the video where he openly admits to it. He now has another video where he just talks about how he's the most hated Minecraft YouTuber now, which makes sense because faking a donation to charity after you've been milking a tragedy is just the ultimate insult and beyond despicable. I actually can't understand how anyone could possibly support this person going forward, but to my surprise, there still are. In his video where he talks about being the most hated Minecraft YouTuber, there's so many comments that are like, it takes so much courage to admit when you're wrong. I'm so thankful that you admitted that you faked it, and I forgive you. Can't wait for your next upload. But why? You know, I mean, you're totally within your right to do that if you want, all power to you. But why? The content he makes is this shit. When Technoblade was first diagnosed, this same commentary channel made like fucking 20 videos on that. The exact same thing he just did on his passing, he also did for his diagnosis. Why watch that? What the fuck is the point? You can't trust him. He's faked a donation, and if he was never caught for faking it, I don't think he would have actually bothered donating the 2.6K. He would have just kept it. You know, there's no way of knowing, but I don't think he would have. He just got exposed for it and then again tried to take the high road and play the victim. It's so fucking gross how low some of these channels will go for the sake of views and subscribers. Because like I mentioned yesterday, this channel has gained 16,000 subs in the last 5 days that he's been milking this content, which is 16 times the normal rate of subscribers that he gains in a fucking month. So he's profiting off this massively and then still faking donations on top of it. It just blows my mind. I wanted to do a little follow-up on the situation since it's getting even crazier, and I really do hope that this will be the last of it and people finally just stop with all of this absolute garbage. And yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. We're in a very perplexing pickle here, because I'm the gladiator of goofiness, the savant of silly, so anytime there's a weird situation that's a bit wacky, people update me on it, and usually I'll giggle about it, maybe I'll make something covering it. But now, today, there's something that a lot of people seem to think is a really humorous, silly situation, when I don't view it that way at all. In fact, I view it as an extremely sad, distressing situation. It's everything that's been happening with FouseyTube. If you're like me with gray hairs in your beard, that name might ring a little bell in your cobweb-covered brain, because it's a name that's as old as YouTube itself, really. He was around a long time ago doing pranks and all kinds of shit, and he was a big name back then. But he had a mental health meltdown that kind of caused him to step away from content creation for a while to work on himself and try and better his actual life away from the internet. And now he's come back as an IRL live streamer, broadcasting pretty much every waking moment of his life on camera. And it is probably the worst thing that could have possibly happened to him. His streams blew up. He got all of the clout he'd ever dreamed of. And he immediately became corrupted and poisoned by it. His broadcast went from the beginning being pretty wholesome and community-driven, like fun stuff from what I recall when he first came back. It was actually kind of cool to root for like an OG YouTuber stepping into a different ballpark, and he seemed like he was in a much better headspace. But then his numbers kept going up. And as those numbers kept climbing, so too did his ego, until he reached his absolute boiling point and crossed the event horizon of maximal douchebaggery. He became his own worst enemy. He would insult people if they were poor. His main insult was about people's financial status and well-being. He became completely corrupted by clout. He was like Gollum, with the One Ring ruining his mind. That was FouseyTube's precious attention. And as his mental health deteriorated, his online presence was only bolstered. People kept tuning in to see what wild thing was going to happen next. What kind of incredible, loud rant is Fousey going to go on next? Just encouraging this downward spiral as people shoved popcorn in their face gluttonously, consuming a man's mental health meltdown on stream. And it really started reaching its boiling point about 2 weeks ago. While on stream, FouseyTube was at an airport and met a woman, and she was very clearly super drunk. She was hammered. And the two got to talking, and eventually she revealed that she was actually the victim of human trafficking at one point in her life. And how did FouseyTube respond to that information? By apparently having sex with her in the airport bathroom. He came back on stream after like a 10-minute break, giddy, and he was saying about how he just joined the Mile High Club. Well, not exactly the Mile High Club, because they were still at the airport, but you know, we just fucking boinked in the toilets over there. And he was so pleased, and then his community turned on him. They were like, wow, that's actually extremely fucked up. She's super drunk, and she also just confided in you that she was the victim of human trafficking. How could you have done this, Fousey? You just took advantage of this woman. This is really degenerate, unforgivable shit. So then he very quickly tried to like play it off as a joke, and he wasn't being serious. Like, haha, no, haha, that did not real, didn't actually happen. Ha, you guys fell for a timeless classic prank. Get pranked, epic style prank, not real, didn't actually do that. When it seems like that's exactly what happened, and this is like Twitter in a nutshell with absolute unhinged lunacy. I did see some people defending this by saying, yeah, but he also raised money for her, so he should have been allowed to have sex with her anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. What they're referring to is he asked his community to donate to her, and they raised like $2,500 for her. And that's apparently an excuse for having sex with an extremely drunk woman who also had just confided in you that she was the victim of human trafficking at some point. It's so alarming seeing people try and rationalize and justify it. That is concerning. Like, that is just downright fucking alarming. But anyway, FouseyTube did face backlash for that, but it actually only made him even more popular because it put FouseyTube's mental health on a bigger stage for more people to see. So more spectators funneled in to watch the train wreck unfold every single day, because he was broadcasting fucking 24/7 basically. A lot of people just kept coming in to point and laugh at the freak show. Look at this crazy guy doing crazy shit. Everyone come watch and laugh at this guy as he broadcasts a very serious mental illness and as it continues to only get worse. Ha ha. And last night, he ended up getting arrested on stream. I don't even know where to begin with this stream. I actually watched like the last 2 hours of it because even before that, things were looking really bad. FouseyTube had assaulted 2 people earlier in the stream last night after they had only lightly bruised his ego over very minor things. He had been yelling and insulting a ton of people. It was looking really bad. He legitimately looked like he was a danger to not only himself, but others. There was also some unlovable, kissless virgin, loser, turbo, insufferable asshole troll that was calling and harassing FouseyTube's family and threatening their life, threatening his life, which of course only continued to push Fousey down this path. The troll was like threatening his family, threatening Fousey, which only made everything significantly worse, obviously. He ended up getting kicked out of an Airbnb and then checking into a hotel where he had a manic episode again and ended up calling the police. And he basically swatted himself.
The fucking questions, send the fucking cops. Send the cops. There's a gun to my head right now. There's a gun to my head. Help, ma'am, he left. Ma'am, he left. There's a gun to my head. Help, get them. Help, bye. Ma'am, Intercontinental, what's my room number? Help, tell me. 2020.
He spent like the last 45 minutes of the stream in a panicked, manic state where he was very afraid of that troll who was making threats against his family and himself. And he ended up calling the police, hoping that they could go arrest him and take him away to try and, you know, fix this whole situation. And it was only made worse because the troll kept pushing him. Like earlier in the stream, Fousey had apparently like fallen in love with this girl and she had like broke up with him, and the troll took credit for it, claiming that he had actually planted that girl there so Fousey would fall in love with her and then she'd break his heart. So he mentions that multiple times in the last 45 minutes because he truly believed that that girl he met was a fucking plant from this troll who's controlling every aspect of his life now. Even the girl he had fallen in love with was actually on the troll's payroll working for him in order to hurt Fousey. So it was this just very, very sad thing to watch unfold. And the police respond, obviously. He called them and said that, you know, his life was in danger. There was a fucking gun to his head, so the police do actually show up.
He's a stalker.
Okay, and who is this guy?
I don't fucking know.
So how do you want us to look for him if you don't know where he is?
I have his address.
What is his address?
I said grab my security 20 minutes ago.
Alright, listen.
You guys are dumb as fuck, man. You guys are literally dumb as fuck.
There's conflicting information on if it's an actual arrest or if they're just detaining him because he is having this mental health episode. He was yelling and screaming at them and saying a bunch of things that obviously didn't make much sense. So, because he was so irate and so deeply disturbed, it seems like the cops arrested him and detained him. And I truly believe that that was actually for the best. I think if this stream continued, he would have ended up hurting himself or somebody. He was in a very intense, very manic state that could have ended very poorly. I watched this all happen live in real time, and there was nothing entertaining about it. People were losing their mind about how entertaining it was. W-stream, this shit is amazing. Because there's such a disconnect from the internet, like the normal internet spectator live stream viewer, and reality. What you are watching is a very real person. FouseyTube is a real human being having an actual mental health breakdown. A complete collapse of mental health. And people are just celebrating it and can't wait for him to come back and are praying that he doesn't take medication. He also mentioned during his stream that he hasn't been taking any of his mental health medication for the last 2 days, and he had apparently not slept for 2 days either, and people love it. People can't wait for more of it, and I just find that so fucking sad. I really do. I don't think there's anything goofy about it. Fousey is unfortunately not only being encouraged by his audience that's treating him like some kind of circus show, he's also being encouraged by other streamers in the real world that keep patting him on the ass and pushing him to keep doing this kind of shit. He is surrounded by parasites, these fucking leeches that are latching on to Fousey's ass like a goddamn hemorrhoid in order to suckle some clout out from under him. So he's blown up from all of this. So a lot of other streamers have started trying to be all buddy-buddy with him, like, hey, we're such good pals, Fousey, you're doing great, let me in your content. So they keep forcing themselves into Fousey's life so they can broadcast themselves to promote themselves through him, without ever actually caring about him as a friend. No one is actually helping him get what he needs. He is clearly going through a legitimate mental health crisis. Fousey has been very open and honest in the past about the mental health struggles that he has. He has legitimate mental illness. And nobody around him seems to care. They only care that he keeps bringing in big numbers, which help them. There was a moment right before he was arrested where Aiden Ross called him and told him to, like, calm down and go to sleep. And that is more than a lot of other people in his life have done for him, but that is still, like, the bare minimum. Like, that is, like, very easy to do stuff. That's not help Fousey needs. What he needs is someone that's willing to do the hard stuff. Turn his fucking stream off. Take his phone away. Take his camera away. He needs to be disconnected from the internet, and he actually needs legitimate professional help. That's the hard thing that no one's willing to do, but it's what he needs. That is 100% the only thing that will help him, but no one does it. Like, again, there are a couple people, it wasn't just Aiden, that are like, hey, Fousey, just calm down, you know, go to bed, it's not that big of a deal. But that's not, he's not going to do that. He is in a actual manic state. He's not just going to stop and go to sleep because you asked him nicely. You need someone that is actually caring about him to take all of that away and get him to where he needs to go, to a professional. And also, a lot of other people pointed this out too. The platforms can also do something. Kick could have absolutely suspended the stream. They could have, and that would have been an invaluable help to him. But they don't, because he brings in so many viewers and so much attention, and that's what the world seems to run on these days. So all the people in his life and everything and everyone around him is just a yes man that encourages this destructive behavior. And it's only going to get worse if he's allowed to keep doing this without anyone actually stepping up to help him. I think it is fucking tragic. So I don't think it's goofy. I don't think it's silly. I wanted to briefly talk about it because I keep getting asked about it because so many people seem to think that it is goofy and silly. And I just completely disagree. So I just wanted to talk about this a little bit. That's really about it. So yeah. In the pursuit of clout, nothing is off limits. Even if someone is dead, that doesn't exclude them from being part of an epic YouTube video. That body will be filmed and paraded around for some views online. No price is too high for YouTubers to pay if it means views on their channel. You remember Daddy05, the channel where it was a family abusing their kids for views? Well, that's not exactly uncommon, I would say. There's a lot of really bad family content on the platform. Not all of it's bad. There is some, like, genuinely wholesome families. But one thing that I've always took issue with some of these channels is it feels like they use their kids as a prop for their own narcissism and just using their kids for views. I sometimes just get the impression the parents don't even view their kids as human beings, just these little piggy banks that are like a vessel for them to make money off of. And today we took a disturbing look behind the scenes of one of these family channels where the creator accidentally uploaded an unedited version of a video that she made. It was about heartbreak in the family, and in it she was using her son's crying as part of her thumbnail, trying to direct him while he was really having a very rough time. It's pretty fucking hard to look at. So just a fair warning there. And I have to say, it seems awful to be part of one of these families that records everything, even like the saddest moments of your life, and tries to use it for views. Like, imagine you're crying and your mom's like, okay, keep up that energy, keep crying. I'm gonna get the iPhone real quick. Okay, now say, I'm sad, super sad, but make sure to subscribe because it'll make me happy. You know, like, that's a fucking nightmare. I'd rather be part of the Manson family than a family vlog channel. Like, it just seems horrible. See, some of these families record even the saddest moments of your life because to them, that's money in the bank. And I think that shit's awful. I also think it's awful that some of you out there haven't subscribed to the Huge Charles channel. I'll make sure to put a link in the description below so you can check that out. That's some good old wholesome family fun.
Can't wait for her to bring her home and be part of our family. Put your head right here. Almost pray for us. We appreciate it. I love you guys. Bye. Come here. Come closer for the video. Come closer. Come closer. Come closer. Put your head right here. Come closer. Closer down. Put your head down here. Act like you're crying. Really quick. I am crying. Go like this. No, Mom, I'm actually seriously crying. No, I know, but go like this for the video.
Imagine being this devoid of basic emotions, where you've completely thrown away humanity in the pursuit of your internet fame. Obviously, the kid is really crying. He even says, like, no, Mom, look, I'm actually crying. But she's like, oh, no, that's good. Yeah, no, keep pretending. Like, she can't even wrap her head around the idea that her kid might actually be emotional. And instead of turning off the camera to help her son, she's trying to use that to make a thumbnail.
Go like this. Put one hand up. Go like this. No, go like this. Put your hand like this. But let them see your mouth. Let them see your mouth. Oh, Mom, I'm actually crying. Look at me. 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 I'm actually crying. I know. Look at me. Look at me. Look at the camera. Look at the camera.
Exquisite work, masterful directing here. She really captured the misery and trauma wonderfully in the thumbnail. No doubt, easy million views there. Do you think for the next one, perhaps, we can go to a funeral and line up the grieving family around the open casket, maybe stand the body up a little bit and then they all just look really sad, maybe looking down a bit? I think she's got a great career here in Hollywood, no doubt. Very impressive work, for sure. Some people, I swear to God, would dig up the grave of their grandfather, get his corpse out, and fucking pour slime down his throat for like a slime challenge if it meant extra views on their channel. Like, there is nothing sacred. They will do anything for fucking views. Here she saw an opportunity like, oh, starts rubbing her hands together like a cartoon villain. How can I make the most amount of views off of this horrible situation? I know. Let's make sure that the audience can see my son is crying, and then I'll cry. But listen here, Junior, if we don't get more tears out of this, we're gonna fucking starve. Do you want that on your conscience? Then you'll have something to really cry about, because you'll be going hungry if this thumbnail isn't fucking sad enough. So you're gonna have to fucking cry more, now! And then look at the camera, please. Okay, now come here. Okay, good. Alright, excellent. Obviously, she was made aware of her whoops-a-daisy here, the little chess blunder, pretty quickly. I think she deleted the video within 30 minutes. She then reposted it and then just took down the video altogether and addressed it as quickly as possible with this video where she talks about how disappointed she is in herself. I'll play a short clip from that.
We're very upset. We've been crying all day. It has been extremely scary. They don't know if she's gonna make it. Honestly, completely worn out, emotional, crying the whole day. I had Christian on my shoulder and I was like, here, come pose for the thumbnail with me after the video was done. And that was so disgusting of me. I should not have done that at all. We were both already so sad and upset and in such a vulnerable state today.
So the situation was their new puppy contracted parvo before they got the dog, so the dog wasn't doing super well, so the whole family was upset and she was emotional all day, and then she talks about how gross it was that she did this in the first place and left it in the video, and how disgusting the behavior was. It's not like there's anything she could have said to make the situation better or a way to justify that behavior. And she doesn't try to. I mean, like, how are you going to fucking spin that where you're like the hero? Like, no, you see, the reason I was trying to direct my kids crying for a thumbnail is actually because terrorists were holding the dog hostage, and they demanded at least 1 million views on this video, so I had to do everything in my power to make it happen in order to save the dog's life. You know, like, there's nothing she could have done to justify anything in the video. All she could really say is that it was gross, it was stupid, and she's sorry. That is really all she could do in the situation. One thing that I would also like to mention is the fact that she keeps saying how emotional she was and that she was like really crying all day and just super emotional overall. I don't necessarily get that perspective from the short clip I watched, because it seems like she wasn't crying, and it seems like she hadn't been crying. It looks like she hasn't cried since Jersey Shore got canceled. So I don't know if she necessarily was that bothered by it, or if like the entire day she had planned on making a video about the situation, so she went into like YouTuber mode where she wasn't allowing herself to be emotional on camera. I don't really know. But overall, there's just not a whole lot she could say or do here to make anything that much better. So she's just upfront saying everyone was right, this was gross, this was stupid, and I'm sorry. She doesn't try and like spin this in any way like, no, you guys are wrong, this didn't happen that way. She's just upfront like, yeah, this is fucking gross and disgusting. So, I mean, that's good at least that she admits that. But one thing that left a sour taste in my butthole, though, is that in the apology video, she also brings up the harassing DMs and shit that she's gotten. Now, of course, I never encourage harassment. This is also why I'm not putting her name anywhere in this video. I hate when people go out of their way to harass someone or send death threats or any fucking degenerate garbage like that. She's absolutely right to call those kind of things out. But why do it in the apology video? It kind of makes it feel like, okay, I fucked up, but you should also feel bad for me because as a result of this, I'm getting this kind of horrible stuff. So I just don't think this was the right time to talk about that. The focus of the video should have stayed on you owning up to the mistake. That it shouldn't have shifted to like, but I'm also a victim. I just don't think that was the right call there. In a comment, she also mentions that she'll no longer feature her son on her channel, because I'm assuming, the comments are turned off here, I'm assuming a lot of people had the same impression I did, where they felt that she was using her kid for views. And it's hard to really argue that when you have this footage here, where she is quite literally using her son for a more attention-grabbing thumbnail by trying to manipulate his misery for the audience. So I think that's also a good call to steer away from featuring your kids like that, especially if they might not want to. Like, it doesn't seem like the kid really wants to be in the thumbnail when he is crying, and he has to keep reiterating the point like, no, Mom, look, I'm actually crying, and then she still keeps trying to direct him. So I think her also saying that her son will no longer be used on her channel like that is a good thing. Overall, it's a fucking terrible situation, and it's hard to really take her at her word that this is like a one-time thing. Like, because now that you've seen behind the curtain here, now that you've seen how the sausage is made, as the expression goes, it's hard to really be like, oh, okay, I'll take her at her word that this has never happened before, where she's not, you know, using her kids or using horrible situations for the sake of views. The whole perspective is a bit baffling to me, where you'd have like this awful situation with the puppy and a family vlog channel's like, that's a good video, a crying video. And it's not the only channel to do that. I remember there was another channel only like a week or two ago, I'm not going to show anything from this at all, but it was a family vlog channel. They were going on this fucking multi-million-dollar vacation or some shit, but they arrived to the airport too late, so they were about to miss their flight. And the dad brings out the fucking camera and he films his children really sad, his wife really sad, and him being aggressive towards the employees that are telling them like, look, it is literally too late, you have arrived too late to get on this flight. And he makes this whole video just being rude to them and filming his family being sad. Like, what the fuck do you, that entitlement is wild. Like, what the fuck do you want them to do? Ground the plane? Like, no, the pilot's not allowed to take off. Fuck it, this family channel has 1 million subs, we have to allow them on and give them first class, kick everyone else off the plane. Like, I don't know what they were expecting, they arrived too late. And B, what blows me away is that the dad would even think like, this is a video. My family is really upset and I'm gonna be rude to these people. That is a video for the family channel, baby. Bang. Like, I just don't get it. And it's the same thing in this situation. Like, this puppy is in rough shape and we're all very upset about it. That's a banger video. Let's all start crying on camera. I don't get it. It's astonishing. It really is. I don't really have words to describe it because I just don't understand why anyone would think that's a good idea. This situation was a really fucking gross one. Hopefully this really is the only time she's used her kid like this. Hopefully there's not anything awful going on behind the scenes like this. So yeah, that's about it. See ya. It's not often that there'll be a situation where an internet content creator gets accused of doing some heinous, deplorable, degenerate, sketchy garbage, and you're caught off guard by it. Most of the time, the stories play out with people you expect to be the likely suspect, like Logan Paul. You know, when you hear that he's scamming his audience with CryptoZoo and not repaying them, you're like, you know what, that sounds about par for the course. That sounds about right. Of course, there are those rare times where it really comes out of nowhere, you know, but it's never going to be something super shocking, like Mr. Rogers just got revived from the dead and now he's beating children at a local elementary school or anything. But today, that's kind of how it feels, because a YouTuber that I've really respected for a long time was just accused of some pretty awful things in regards to how they handled their charity organization that they've done fundraising for the last 9 years. And there's a lot of evidence about this that has been put out there to the public now. So the situation is a YouTuber named The Completionist, who's been around for a very long time, whose content I am very familiar with, has just been put in the center of a huge controversy after an investigation was conducted by two other YouTubers whom I have a lot of love and respect for, Mutahar, Some Ordinary Gamers, and Carl Jobst. The two of them decided to team up like a beautiful buddy cop movie, forming the goddamn Avengers here, and they decided to dig into the financial reports that are publicly available for a charity that the Completionist owns called the Open Hand Foundation. It was started when his mother tragically passed away from dementia, and for the last 9 years has been gathering money to give to causes that will help in the battle against dementia. But what Carl and Muta found is that over the course of the last 9 years since it's existed, they haven't donated a single penny from any of their fundraising to any cause whatsoever. All of that money is still, well, most of that money is still sitting in the bank account for that charity. And despite this, over the last 9 years, they continue to raise money while telling the audience that's giving them the money that it's all being donated and it's being helped to fight against dementia. Even though the reality is none of that money has been sent anywhere. It is still in that account. Aside from some operating expenses that they've incurred, which they don't specify anything on, which is extremely fishy. And there's just so many things about this that have raised the alarm for many people internally here who have reviewed everything that Mutahar and Carl have presented and taken elsewhere. It's just, there's a ton of red flags. And they even do talk to the Completionist directly during these videos. They interviewed him, and he also recognizes the problem. He admits to the problem. He can see how bad it all is, though I will say that his explanations for why it's in the state that it's in and what's happening here with this situation aren't very good. I don't think he does a great job of defending this in any way that makes any real sense. So the whole thing is extremely unfortunate. Now, he hasn't made a full official public statement yet aside from these interviews, but it's not looking very good. There's really not a whole lot of wiggle room for this just to be classified as like, you know, digging up dirt and drama on nothing, making a mountain out of a molehill. No, this is like pretty watertight evidence that they presented, and even the person at like the helm of it, the Completionist, recognizes that, yeah, it's a huge problem, it's bad. So I'll boil this down for a lot of people that may have just seen like a bit of what's going on Twitter. So Mutahar and Carl, they worked together to investigate a YouTuber named The Completionist and his charity foundation. It's called the Open Hand Foundation. And basically, since it's a charity foundation, their records are public. So they can see what money comes in and what money goes out, like to charitable causes. Basically, they're a middleman. They take in donations, the charity that is, and it's all under the pretense that it's going to be donated to a benefactor that's going to fight against dementia, like come up with treatments, maybe a cure, anything to combat dementia. Mutahar and Carl decided to dig through their financials because, again, all of that's public, and what they found is since 2014, they haven't donated a single penny to any causes, anything at all. All of that money, it's like $600,000 and some change, is still just sitting in their account. Despite the Completionist doing these charity fundraisers yearly and telling people where, you know, like the money's going here and there and it's being used to help people, this and that. Meanwhile, it has just been sitting in an account. And they interviewed him, and he also recognized, like, this is a problem. And there was a couple things he said that really didn't sit right with me, where he kind of made it seem like his biggest concern was his public image as a result of all of this. So he'd be like, maybe maybe if I have to just take the L here, like, this isn't a take the L situation if you've been misleading people with a charity's purpose and what it's been doing for all of these years. That's like a very big deal. Very, very big deal. It's not just like a, frivolous internet drama. So that's kind of the situation in a nutshell. He hasn't come forward with like a full statement on his own outside of the interview they did where he does own up to all of it, though he says it's not on purpose. He's just made a mistake. He was under the assumption that the money was being donated. Turns out it hasn't been, so it's just been sitting stagnant, collecting dust and cobwebs in the bank account for the charity foundation. And there was a lot of other really weird stuff, and I won't get into the weeds. I highly recommend watching either Mudahar's video or Carl's video on it where they go over it. But there are a lot of other weird things in there, such as the way that they report what money gets spent on like operational costs. There was just a lot of red flags. But the biggest thing is he continues to raise money for this charity. Everyone who donates believes that money is going towards the cause that he is promoting, like, hey, this money is being used to combat dementia, find treatments, this and that. That's where we're sending the money. It's not. It's just sitting in a bank account. So that's the big problem. It's just lying to the audience. Now, from everything they've reported, Mudahar and Carl haven't said that he's pocketing the money or anything like that. I know Dexerto ran a dog shit article claiming that that's what Mudahar and Carl were saying. They're not. They are not making the claim that the completionist or anyone on his team is taking that money for themselves. It's just since, again, all of the records are public, you can see that the money is still just in that account. It is still just sitting there for 9 fucking years, and it's because they can't find the right benefactor, which is a really weird excuse. That doesn't make a lot of sense at all. Didn't they have like 100K operating expenses? Something like that, which again, they don't report what the actual operating expenses were, like specifically, which makes them very vulnerable to an audit, which is something they talk about. It's just all very fishy. It's very poorly ran. Poorly ran is being extremely generous. There are so many things in here that don't make a lot of sense at all. I want to show you a clip from Carl's video, actually a couple clips from Carl's video.
Their website clearly states they support the UCSF, and they have a quote from David Kessler, the Dean of the UCSF School of Medicine, thanking them for their gift. But the interesting thing about David Kessler is that he was fired as the Dean of the UCSF School of Medicine in 2007, 7 years before OpenHand was even officially registered.
That's an extreme eyebrow raiser right there. To any detective worth their salt, they'd puff on their pipe, let out a big puff of smoke and say, "Baloney, what's happening?" and dig deeper, which is exactly what Carl and Mudahar did. Carl reached out to the organization to ask them why they haven't given any money over the last 10 or so years.
Which was written by Jacques Khalil, Gerard's brother. They claimed that before their official registration as a foundation, they donated body parts for research. A strange claim that I don't believe can be true of a charity. That's likely referring to a private and personal matter within their family and would have nothing to do with OpenHand. They claim they made financial contributions to an institution that made insufficient progress. Essentially, OpenHand is claiming that because they made donations before they were registered in 2014, which we cannot confirm because it wasn't public at the time, this means that it is acceptable to not pass along any of the money the public has given them until they find someone they deem worthy.
That's a lot to take in, so I understand if you need a moment to catch your breath and let all the juices marinate here. It's a very upsetting topic, with charitable causes turning out to be less than stellar, we'll say. It's always a very fucked up situation, but basically what is being claimed here from the completionist brother is that in the past, before OpenHand was registered, they donated body parts to the UCSF, and that's where that quote comes from. But like Carl mentions, that has nothing to do with OpenHand, so why would you be using that quote on OpenHand's website? It's very misleading to people. If I'm someone that's donating to the OpenHand Foundation, and I'm seeing that quote, I'm assuming that this means the contributions are going to them. And here's them saying, you know, thanks for all the support. But that's just not the case here at all. The money's not going anywhere, and that quote does not apply to donations that they're receiving from OpenHand. And going a bit further, the completionist brother is saying that they did give money in the past before they were registered, which Carl says they can't confirm since it wasn't public. But he's saying they gave money in the past, they didn't like the progress, they thought it was insufficient, so now they're just waiting for the perfect partner, the perfect benefactor to give the money to now. And it's been 9 years and they still haven't found it. So it's just incompetence, not malice. It's more than incompetence, though. It'd be like full-blown negligence to the point where it's like borderline illegal. I don't even know it'd be borderline. I think it would be just like straight up illegal if they get audited and they find all of these like big red flags. You can't just have a charitable organization make all of these claims about where the money's going. On their website, they even list like a university that they say that they're one of like the historic funders of or something to that effect, even though they haven't donated any money to any of those causes or anything in general. Like, it's all very, very bad sounding. I'm very curious to see what the completionist will say about it outside of the interview he did here. I would really like to hear more from him on exactly what the fuck is going on and why it's in that place. And even more so, I'd love to hear from the completionist on why he continues to do these fundraising events and make the claims that the money's going here and there and over there, it's going there, and blah, even though the money's going nowhere. Why does he continue to mislead the audience into giving money under the belief that it's being sent to these different places when it's not?
If they've been looking for a beneficiary since 2014, why has Gerard been claiming they support organizations across the world, including the UCSF and the Alzheimer's Association?
We are raising money for dementia research in honor of my late mom, trying to help folks who've been impacted by dementia, working with organizations like USF, FTD Association of America, Alzheimer's Association of America, and so many more.
Why is he claiming the money is actually given to people who know how to use it?
And all that money goes to dementia research. We don't touch any of it. We just work with the people who do need the money, and we help them do their thing.
In this case, the negligence isn't hurting anyone. When I read things like that, like I just have to sit there and process it for a second. It takes a while to register just how you could actually believe that, like legitimately, or if you're just kidding. They've collected over $600,000 in donations from their community, normal people. Like you, like everyone in chat, donating under the idea, the belief, because they're being told that that money is being used to help against the battle, help in the battle against dementia. And it's not. It's just sitting in a bank account right now. So everyone who has donated money lost money, and it didn't go to the cause they thought it would. That they thought it would. That was the whole reason they donated the money, to go towards that cause, which it hasn't. It's been sitting there for 9 years. You see the British airline pilot that did cocaine off of a stripper before flight. That was probably the fastest flight in recorded aviation history. Those passengers got to their destination lickety-split. Just a very peculiar situation here, Jordan. Again, if you want, I just went over like the very basic. If you want to get into the weeds of it and really understand the situation, watch Mudahar's video or Carl's video covering this. They both go in depth, obviously, on all of it and talk about everything and exactly the implications and what's going on. And then I'm assuming the completionist will probably make some kind of public statement very soon because it is such a huge deal. And I'm very curious what exactly he's going to talk about, because he was interviewed here again. He did say his piece. It wasn't a very good piece, but I am curious where it goes from here. Again, I highly encourage all of you to watch Mudahar and Carl's video covering this subject for more information. There's just one other thing I want to briefly touch on here. For some reason, Muda and Carl were asked for recommendations on where they thought the money should go, and during the interview with the completionist Gerard, he was saying, like, I'll donate the money today, you just tell me where it should go. And that's so fucking weird. It's not their job to tell you where that money should go. It's your organization, and you have said where the money's supposed to be going and just haven't sent it there. So just to kind of repeat what Mudahar said, just send the money where you said it was going, like, this whole time. It's that simple. They still have most of the funds, minus the 9 years or so of operational expenses they've incurred. So since that money is still just sitting there collecting cobwebs, it hasn't been, like, fucking thrown into, you know, blackjack tables at the Hard Rock Casino or anything. It's still present. It hasn't just fucking poofed out of thin air and vanished. They can still donate that money to the causes they've said it's going to. Now, of course they should absolutely do that, but the question will always remain now, are they doing that because of this investigation that's put a lot of public pressure on them to do so? Or were they always going to do this at some point, and this was just the final push they needed to finally get there? I'm not doing a good job of explaining the conundrum, but basically there's always going to be this doubt in the back of everyone's mind about their intentions regardless of what happens going forward. Was this charity from the very get-go designed to be a charitable fraud situation where they collect money from the audience, hold on to it for a really long time, and maybe gradually tap into it to use for their own expenses, or maybe at some point they just take it all out for themselves and pocket it? Who knows now, because it's been 9 years and they still haven't donated a single dollar of what they've gathered. And I do think they are going to donate it now, but would they have if Mudahar and Carl didn't investigate this? Would they have ever donated this money if the investigation didn't happen? Who knows? Who's to say? Which is why it's always going to be this, like, doubt in the back of people's mind on what actually was their goal with the foundation, if not to donate the money to the causes they said they were. This is super fucked up. I am extremely curious to see what the completionist is going to say about this going forward publicly. I'd really like to hear from his side a bit more on what exactly is going on. But it certainly doesn't look good, and this is a subject that really hits close to home for me. Many of you might remember for a long time I would donate all of the money I made on YouTube to various charities. Over time I realized a lot of the organizations that I was putting money into were not exactly the best and engaged in a lot of sketchy practices, and a lot of the money didn't go where they claimed it would. So charitable fraud is always something that I'm pretty passionate about. It's a really disgusting idea to take advantage of people's generosity and people's will to fight against something for the betterment of the people they care about, the rest of the world. Just taking advantage of people and exploiting their generosity is such a foul concept. And I really hope that's not what the goal of this organization was. I'm hoping this actually is just a case of them being not exactly prepared to run an organization with money of this caliber and just didn't know what to do with it or how best it could be used. I don't really know. There's not a whole lot of ways of looking at it positively, but yeah, I just had to go over this situation a bit because it's a pretty upsetting one. That's really it. So yeah. Drama, fake tears, and shitty acting. These were the ingredients chosen to create the perfect YouTuber apology. I'm sure many of you are familiar with YouTuber apologies because this shit happens all the time. I swear to God, YouTubers melt down more often than ice cream cones. There is every single week 5 or 6 big YouTuber meltdowns where they're all fucking crying on camera or faking their tears on camera, forcing themselves to cry on camera. And it's always terrible, but I don't think it's always fake. I'm sure a good bit of it's genuine with actual remorse. But when you go on camera to apologize for some petty internet bullshit and you're rubbing your eyeballs super fast and super hard like you're trying to stimulate a clitoris, or you're slapping your eyes like you're playing bongos to try and get them red and, you know, tearing up so it looks natural, it comes across like shit and you look stupid. And the apology videos and breakdowns are always silly. I don't know how people can still think it's a good idea to start crying on camera, begging for internet forgiveness and internet points. Just accept responsibility, move the fuck on, because the internet's going to forget about it in 45 minutes. Now what's getting me talking about this subject today is two YouTubers had breakdown, meltdown, crying videos. One of them is JStation, who I just made a video about with his whole fake girlfriend death soap opera performance he tried to put on. He made a follow-up video, you know, reviving my dead girlfriend at 3 a.m. challenge. But then he deleted that video and deleted the whole second channel and posted this, where he reveals that it was all made up. The girlfriend never died, and in fact she just left him. Which I fucking called in my video, by the way. I said that she most likely left him, so go ahead and call me your toilet, because I saw that shit coming. I knew it. But aside from just proving me right, he just starts breaking down and crying, talking about growing up, dropping out of high school, going to prison and shit like that, just telling this whole sad story about his life. And it's hard to tell what's real and what's not with this guy, but either way, why are you telling that story? Why do you go 20 minutes going through shit that's not even related to the subject? Just fucking say, hey, it was fake, I fucked up, move on, and the internet will forget it. Especially your audience, JStation. Your fucking audience hasn't even developed object permanence yet. They're not even going to remember this stunt. You don't need a 24-minute long video crying the entire time about something. It serves no purpose, and it's just such a waste. And speaking of waste, you're wasting your time when you're not watching my streams at twitch.tv/moistcritical. Come stop by, I'd love to see you over there.
Bye, baby. Bye, baby. precious little hands. I used to make fun of them. I used to say like, oh, they're women dancing like really small. And sometimes I think he got really insecure about it. I'm just so mean and everything.
This is from mukbang YouTuber Nikado Avocado. He posted this on the same day as J Stations, and I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this guy's channel when I made that video talking about why I don't like mukbang. I fucking hate mukbanging. I think that shit sucks fuck. I think it is bad. I do not like it when I watch it. I don't have any fun. I find it revolting, and I have nothing positive to say about it, and I don't respect it. Nikado Avocado became famous in the mukbang community for just his brutal attack of the calories he consumes during the videos. He snorts up those calories like he's snorting cocaine. It is actually genuinely impressive and revolting, and it is just not my cup of tea. I don't like mukbanging, but that is how he made a name for himself, and he's been all over some drama that I don't keep up with because I am not interested in learning about it. But he's been all in this drama and shit, and it all culminated into this video here, this climax for the anime arc that they've created. It sounds, from what I can pick up here, that his significant other left him, his husband or his boyfriend has left, and now he's touching a glove that I guess he wore, and he's, I don't know, he's getting all like psychopathic with the glove and rubbing it all over his face, and he's grieving. He's very clearly going through a very hard time, and yet, for some reason, he's felt compelled to put it all in a video on YouTube to share it with the world and still do a Taco Bell mukbang with it. I really feel like YouTubers, a good portion of them, are infected with a social media disease where they feel like they have to post everything ever online all the time, no matter how fucking sad. And this is just really sad stuff to watch this video. Just look at some more of this.
I wanna die. They were so precious and so sweet. My angel. My precious angel.
Again, I don't know this guy's situation or the drama he's involved in, but watching this video makes me feel very bad for him and the rough time he's going through. But why the fuck are you taking something so private and personal and posting it all online? And it's not just one video he has of it, he has like 5 of these videos of him breaking down about this situation. In fact, the day after he posted this one, he posted another fucking breakdown mukbang video where he's back in his deep-fried feelings, consuming gratuitous amounts of unhealthy food, in another fucking mukbang where he is crying incessantly and loses his shit over some missing french fries. Why? Why not take some time away and digest it personally, privately? Not everything needs to be just shitted out online just because you have an online presence or you share some things about your life online. Not everything needs to be open. You don't have to have a perpetually open door or open ass cheeks for everyone to just come inside and look at what's going on in your life and what you're feeling at the time. And in Nikado's case especially, talking about wanting to die, that is some scary shit, and someone in his life needs to step up and get him some help. Someone needs to make sure he does not keep posting these crying mukbangs, get him off of the internet for however long is required to help him heal and get through his terrible situation, and then he can come back to the internet in a triumphant, glorious return, in a healthier state of mind. But crying on camera and posting these videos isn't helping him move on, it's not helping anything. So someone, somewhere, needs to help Nikado Avocado and all of these other people that just keep posting these crying breakdowns to just help them realize that's not the way of going about it. It's like a social media infection that is compelling them to just post all kinds of embarrassing things that they know they shouldn't, but they can't help themselves. Look no further than Boogie's Twitter. I've never wanted to talk about Boogie2988 because his situation is such a weird, peculiar, and really sad one, but if you go on his Twitter for just 30 minutes and scroll down, it is nothing but walls of text, thousands of tweets, all crying and whining about all types of different things. If one person leaves a negative comment somewhere on the internet, Boogie has found it and he is crying about it on his Twitter. Oh, and don't even get him started on Reddit. If you mention that, that's like mentioning Voldemort. It is going to be a full-blown red alert, full fucking throttle, full erection meltdown. He goes on and on and on about everything that even kind of even hints at him on Reddit. It's fucking absurd. He has so many fucking Twitter breakdowns, at least one every 4 or 5 days, And it should all just be solved if he stepped away from Twitter. Fucking delete your account or just not use it. Just fucking delete the app. God damn. His mental health would improve significantly. His fucking reputation and image would improve significantly by not constantly engaging in all of this emotionally driven, impulsive posting and tweeting and revealing all kinds of crazy, very personal stuff and crying online. Just taking a step back and not doing that. That's exactly what Nikado Avocado needs to do as well. Not post all of this crying stuff online for the whole world to see. It's private stuff. It doesn't need to be personal or public. It's personal. Don't post everything online. Stop crying on camera. Stop impulsively making these super feely videos where you've got this raw emotion that you just want to get out there, but you're not stopping to think about it. It's not a good look. It's bad. It's embarrassing. Stop. It's never going to go over well when you're making these crying apology videos or these crying breakdowns. Just take some time off. That's all you got to do. Just step back. All right. Now that we've got that, now that I've got that out of my system, I feel better. It's just I'm so fucking tired of seeing these trendy meltdown videos and crying videos that get fucking recommended to me on YouTube's homepage or make the trending tab. It's silly. It's a bad look and it's dumb shit. That's it. So yeah. There's been so much negative shit going on in the world recently. Every time you go on the internet, it's just doom and gloom and sad, scary shit. Coronavirus still at large. Yellowstone threatening to erupt at any moment if someone even sneezes wrong near the volcano. You know, cell phones poisoning the water supply and making our dicks smaller. Just terrifying shit all over the place every time you go on the internet. And you know what? I put my foot down and said, by golly, I've had just about enough. I'm putting the kibosh on the negative vibes, and I'm gonna find something positive. So like any sensible man, I turn to YouTube power couples to get my fix. Because nothing says positive and wholesome quite like some affluent teenagers rubbing their parents' wealth in my face while doing fake prank videos and shit like that. So, who did I choose to tune into to get these positive vibes and this rush of dopamine? Well, none other than the Garner Gang, baby! If you've been on my channel for a long time, you know I've watched quite a bit of the Garner Gang's content, but it's been about a year since the last time we tuned in. I'm not proud to say that out loud. I feel like an estranged father trying to, you know, kind of weasel my way back into the relationship there and take a peek. I mean, my prescription is overdue. It's been a year, but I came in for a checkup tonight. And again, I am sorry that it's been so long since I watched some Garner Gang content. That should just be an outright sin. If that's not one of the 10 commandments, then shit, Moses must have just fucking forgot it up there on the mountain. Because it is a sin. It truly is. Now, jokes aside, I don't have any problem with Nate Garner or Garner Gang, anything like that. I have nothing but respect for doing those kind of things. The reason why I'm even making a video on this is because by going to Nate Garner's newest video, I somehow found another fucking conspiracy. The internet is so fucking full of conspiracies during quarantine, it's nuts. There is an actual fucking Garner Gang conspiracy going on right now, which is what we're gonna get into. Let's go ahead and start with the video.
What's up, Garner Gang? Whoa, that's me, and this is my life. Let me show you how I got here.
It starts just like every other Garner Gang video. This seems pretty standard and ordinary to me based on what I remember from the Garner Gang. You know, full throttle, nuts to butts right out of the gate. I mean, this seems like the stamp of Nate Garner. It doesn't seem like anything's awry here. But YouTube commenters were quick to point out that there may be more than meets the eye going on here.
I got this one that says, make your dreams happen. That's what we do, Garner Gang. Big wins, making dreams happen.
It's a sponsored video. He's talking about copping some big W's, and you know what? We could all use some big W's right now in these trying times with coronavirus keeping us on lockdown. So, I mean, I didn't see a problem. You know, this just felt like a pretty standard Nate Garner Gang video, baby. I was feeling that big W energy.
Good morning, Garner Gang.
It's an acquired taste. Not everyone is going to do the Garner shuffle at home or anything like that, but, you know, some of us higher intellectuals, we like to hit it out there with the Garner Gang and shit, you feel me? I mean, it just fucking energizes me, man. Honestly, the whole video is like every fucking Nate Garner video I've seen, which admittedly isn't a ton of them, but it just seems like normal Nate Garner Gang content. But as the video goes on, it continues to look like normal content to the untrained eye, but the super sleuths and armchair relationship experts in the comments are quick to point out some very odd things and behavioral differences.
Because you already know it's going to be an epic one.
How is it gonna be an epic one, Wes?
There's buy a luxury item. Oh no.
For me?
Whoa,
bro! Whoa.
You're a disaster.
I know I am.
My bank account's a disaster.
Isn't it so pretty? I've always wanted this bag.
So I'll spoil the conspiracy. They say that they broke up and they don't want to admit it because that would mean that they lose some of their YouTube audience because they're no longer in a relationship or something to that effect. Everyone's got a different version of the conspiracy theory. This is kind of like the Avril Lavigne's dead and replaced by a stunt double, a body double. It's a loose conspiracy theory based on a single video here from what I've gathered from the conspiracy theory dark net, by that I mean Twitter, that believes the Garner gang has split up. So basically throughout this video, this is the only part of the video where I can kind of see Nate looks unhappy, but he also just got clobbered by a heavy bag and spent a lot of money on a heavy bag for the sake of the YouTube video, so I don't know.
Dude, I know you too well.
Okay, I'm just going. Oh god, that's disgusting. I'm quitting YouTube. I'm done.
That's where the video ends. They lick a tire and then kiss quickly and run away spitting. You know, if you're kissing after licking a tire, your relationship's gotta be pretty strong, at least in my opinion. You also shouldn't be licking tires in the first place, but I mean, that comes with the territory of being a YouTuber. Who hasn't licked a tire for a couple thousand views? I mean, shit, people are out here licking colon, like actual prolapsed anus. They'll start chewing on that shit like bubblegum for YouTube views. Now let's dive into the meat of the conspiracy, the majority of which is here on YouTube, a bit on Twitter. I don't really know where to find shit on Instagram, so I didn't really look too hard there. But if you go through YouTube comments, every single one of them, almost every single one of them, is saying that they're broken up and demanding answers. It's that sense of entitlement that always makes me very upset and feel super sorry for people like Nate Garner and Carissa here. They don't owe you an explanation for something that personal. You're not entitled to it. I talked about this pretty recently. When people subscribe to a channel on YouTube and have been subscribed for a long time, they feel this sense of they deserve everything, to know everything about that person and that they are their best friend. And that leads to this crazy sense of, you owe us this and we fucking hate you until you tell us this. That's what a lot of the comments echo. Others are just expressing concern, and then others are just sharing a bunch of weird information and like analyzing body language. You're not some like forensics detective or anything like that. There's no reason that you should be overanalyzing everything you're seeing in their videos. It is their private life and it's their decision whether or not they share it with their audience. It's just silly how invested so many people get in online celebrities and just celebrities in general's lives. I've talked about this shit so much, and then I accidentally fucking find this negative conspiracy shit while I'm looking for something goofily positive in any small semblance. It's almost poetic in a certain way. There's just this crazy nature for people to latch on to shit they see online and make that their whole lives. Like, if these two are broken up, I will be devastated. You see so many of those comments, so many people expressing like their lives are going to be severely altered if it's true that Nate and Carissa are not together. That's so unhealthy. That's super fucked up, and it's not their responsibility to be your rock. You know, that should never be the case. And they, again, don't owe you an explanation for whatever is going on. If there even is something going on, it was a pretty fucking normal video. It wasn't like some VHS tape out of The Ring where there was creepy shit going on that you have to analyze and figure out what it all means. It was a standard video. There wasn't like 2 frames of something horrific, you know? It wasn't like some crazy shit going on. It was just them doing a standard YouTube throwaway prank challenge, whatever the fuck they call it these days. And these people are still going rabid trying to see if they're together or not and demanding that they tell them. Then there's people that are saying it's time to mass unsubscribe from Nate Garner until they give us answers. So they're trying to like hold them ransom for answers that they don't fucking deserve in the first place. Like, you're not their friend. You know, you may be part of the Garner gang, but that doesn't really mean anything. It's just a title, you know? But yeah, I guess the only reason why I wanted to talk about this is because quarantine is making people latch on to shit like this even harder. Well, not just conspiracies, but latching on to people even harder to live vicariously through shit they see on the internet, and to get so unhealthily invested in something to feel that level of entitlement always makes me a bit upset and feel for the person that's on the other end of it. It's just some unhealthy shit, and it really should stop soon, hopefully. Wishing you the best, Garner Gang. Again, I don't know what the fuck's going on there. If I just watched that video without reading the comments, I would just assume it's business as usual over there, but what the fuck do I know? I guess I'm not the YouTube comment experts where the real intellectuals live, in the fucking YouTube comment swamps. But I mean, anyway, that's really about it. So yeah. Flying elbow drop onto toaster. Hold on a second.
This is super fuck this shit! Oh my fucking god! Oh my god! Oh.
Gets a like from me? Fuck yeah!
Microwave. This is for chocolates and chocolates.
He has that intro perfectly. It's the same every time.
Fuck this shit!
Why did he get the fucking toughest microwave available? He like fucking jumped onto a brick. What the fuck is that, a titanium microwave? Just listen to this clunk.
Fuck this shit!
It would have been lighter to jump on a bed of broken glass. It would have hurt less. God damn. It's like the Nokia of microwaves. This guy's awesome. How do I know that's barbed wire?
Fuck this shit! Oh, fuck!
I don't know if it was real barbed wire or not, but he sold the performance. That'll get a like from me.
I
just love the title.
This is for Gigolo.
Butt Buster onto mini cactus toy cars.
Fuck this shit! Oh, my...
Does he just jump into the dumpster, or is there like a WWE stunt here as well?
Oh god!
Oh, I could do that too.
Oh!
That gets a like, whatever. Underwhelming compared to his other stunts, such as elbow dropping a microwave, but whatever, it's fine. He even throws the shirt in the same place.
Oh my god! Oh, fucking
Damn, he really caught a bad angle there. Oh, I forgot to leave it a like. Like, his body is made for these flying elbows.
Fuck this shit!
Oh,
fucking god!
He missed it with his elbow. Should make him my stunt double. Yeah, for when I get into the WWE tricks.
Let's do this.
This guy's getting sponsors for this? Fuck yeah. Hope they're dropping him a crisp 10K for this stunt. Reimbursing him for the hospital bills. Don't do it! Well, as advertised, it's not even a bush. That was like one plant and then dirt. It's not even a stunt. I can do that. What I can't do is fucking powerbomb onto a microwave. I didn't like that one. Don't brace. Don't brace. Don't brace. Braced.
Oh my fucking god! Oh my... oh, fuck.
Try watching Room Raiders or Man vs. Beast.
I'll excuse that one because that mousetrap fucking shot out like a cannon. It's like someone hit a piñata, like his belly was the piñata and they got mousetraps out of it instead of candy. Drinking hot sauce and running into metal gate. Why is this NFL style? Since when is the NFL known for drinking hot sauce and running into a metal gate? I don't really know that from the John Madden's playbook. Oh my god, just like the NFL! Holy shit, his form is flawless. Well, I'll leave it a like for the NFL style. If this was real NFL style, he'd be beating his wife as well. He's not even committed.
This is superhuman to show to that my kid.
Hey, why is he wearing glasses?
This is for
Did he do a flying eye drop onto a microwave? Yeah, get him. Get him! I'll leave it a like. It was just really quick and to the point. Fair enough. So he's only improving.
Fuck this shit!
He hasn't even reached his full potential. Like, that one's a real stunt. Like, that one definitely be hard to fake. All 150 pounds is hitting that microwave of steel. It's the unstoppable gamer versus the immovable force conundrum all over again. Over the years, I've made a lot of content insulting YouTube videos aimed at kids. Things like Finger Family, Don't Call Slenderman at 3 AM challenge, I ordered a 5 Nights at Freddy's potion off of the dark web and got arrested, Poppy's playtime haunts me and now I'm institutionalized, things like that. And I know it's low-hanging fruit, but it doesn't matter, because it makes me feel like a big strong man, shitting on things that are aimed at 4-year-olds. They have horrible taste and I need to remind them of how stupid they are for liking this dog shit. But today, I actually found something very special that I'd like to share with all of you.
Literally gonna be stabbing him any second right now. 3, 2, 1. Ah! No, I'm literally gonna drop him. Ah!
If that intro didn't put you on the edge of your seat with foam in your mouth just salivating for more, then I don't know what's wrong with you. This editing is so fast-paced it'll feel like a seizure, but it's actually just your body's natural reaction to such a fucking banger video. This is Jay Hills, baby. He's the goddamn Christopher Nolan of 3 AM videos on YouTube. He's the new sheriff on this block ever since Jay Station was banished to the Shadow Realm, but I wouldn't say that Jay Hill's content just targets children. I'd say it's appropriate for all ages. Anyone of any age can appreciate this kind of fire.
What's up, your boy Jay Hill's back on the screen for another banger video, and in today's video, we're gonna be making a baby Longlegs voodoo doll at 3 AM and actually using the real baby Longlegs DNA to put it inside of this voodoo doll right over here.
That's called science. This man is a modern sorcerer bringing back the ancient ways here. So he's creating a baby Longlegs voodoo doll using a Caillou plushie. That's fucking genius. I'm sure all of you are familiar with baby Longlegs. I mean, superstar of the Poppy Playtime franchise. This is very dangerous, alright? Jay Hills is putting his life on the line for the sake of our entertainment.
Which is the DNA right over here, guys. This is actually the baby Longlegs potion right over here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just give it a little bit of a hole and I'm gonna dump a little bit of the potion inside of the voodoo doll, and then I'm gonna give baby Longlegs a little bit of a call, and I wanna see if he'll actually come to my house to see if we can actually start playing with the baby Longlegs. Maybe we can make him do some flips, maybe he can like start crying. And
a pretty expertly crafted plan. So he's going to be using some binding spells here of using the baby Longlegs potion, cutting a hole into Caillou, pouring it in, and then inviting baby Longlegs over with a phone call to try and possess him. So really, baby Longlegs is completely innocent here. Jay Hills is the villain. He's the mad scientist, the Frankenstein creating the monster. Baby Longlegs is just hanging out right now, about to get a phone call for a play date, all excited, only to get fucking ambushed by a goddamn YouTube wizard who just starts making him do flips. Like, I feel bad for baby Longlegs right now. It's hard to root for Jay in this one. He's not the hero. Now, I want to say, Jay Hills is an innovator. Most people stopped making 3 AM videos because that genre is completely dead, but Jay Hills has got it on life support right now. And while most people who made 3 AM videos targeted 4-year-olds, Jay Hills is targeting 4-day-olds. Like, this shit is for fresh babies that still can't even open their eyes. His videos are just a series of high-pitched noises and sound effects. It's mind-blowing. So you can tell he's putting on a fake voice here. This isn't how he actually sounds. I'm pretty sure he just like huffs helium in between each jump cut, and there's like a million jump cuts here, so
at the end of it, we're literally gonna be killing baby Longlegs, guys. So if you guys are excited for this video, make sure to go down there, smash that like button.
Yeah, make sure to smash that like button for premeditated murder. Fucking epic. Baby Longlegs won't see it coming.
And just like that, we have a little baby Longlegs toy right over here. Oh my god, guys, it's me, baby Longlegs. But yo, let me know in the comments. Does this look exactly like baby Longlegs? I can't believe I actually did it.
Oh my god, be careful, Jay. Baby Longlegs is already infiltrated. He's already broken into the house. He's already been burglarized. Baby Longlegs is already in the room with him. He's in the headquarters. Wow, that is scarily accurate. He had me fooled. I don't know why he calls it a Baby Longlegs toy. All he did was use a couple of crayons and draw Baby Longlegs poorly and then cut it out. That's not really a toy, it's just a drawing. I don't know why he's saying toy.
Side of it, and the most important part is the DNA. So if you got the DNA, you're actually perfectly good. But first thing I gotta do is I gotta remove the clothing on this dog.
Whoa, hey now, that's going a little too far. Good lord, that's illegal.
Like his contact name and his picture is actually right over there. So if I actually call him, I don't know who's gonna be answering, guys. I feel like it's actually gonna be Baby Longlegs. Guys, it's still ringing. Is he gonna answer? Is Baby Longlegs gonna answer? Hello? Baby Longlegs!
Jeepers creepers, it sounds like that edible's hitting real hard. Baby Longlegs is struggling on this phone call here. It sounds like he's out of it, pretty close to an overdose even, perhaps. But Jay's talking to him, they engage in a conversation, and it sounds like Elmo having an argument with himself, because it's obviously, I'll go ahead and break the illusion here. Jay was the one doing the Baby Longlegs voice. It's pre-recorded, so it's Jay talking to himself, and it's a fucking work of art, honestly. So Jay sets the trap. He says, "Do you like toys?" Baby Longlegs says, "I love every toy in the world." So it looks like he's coming over.
Do you like toys? I know you love toys. You know what I want? Nothing. Maybe I gotta shake him one more time for him to actually come. I'm literally shaking him. Oh, he's right there. Look how small he is, guys. He literally looks so small. Yo.
That little son of a bitch actually decided to show his face in Jay's house, and it's the last mistake he'll ever make. He came here looking for toys, but all he's gonna find is death. So Jay's got him right where he wants him. He took the bait, hook, line, and sinker. You saw Baby Longlegs kind of trotting along across the upstairs area, none the wiser to the danger that he was in. I've also got to say, Baby Longlegs doesn't look anything like he does in the actual games. In the real world here, he's much smaller. He's also got like a full beard, I think. So he's not even a baby, unless of course it's Benjamin Button. You know, so it's very misleading in the games, because in real life, as you can see here, Baby Longlegs is very, very different.
Literally catch him on camera. Yo, he's right there. Okay, stop. Okay, fold your hands. He's literally folding his hands, guys. Yo, he's literally folding his hands right now. Yo, oh my god. Okay, let go. Yo, he just let go of his hands. Oh my god, guys, he literally just let go. Okay, guys, I'm literally gonna be stabbing him any second right now. 3, 2, 1.
Ah! He did it! He stabbed Baby Longlegs. Oh my god. Woo! The evil is defeated. Wow.
Yo, he fell. It worked. He got back up. Yo, I'm shaking him. Yo, he's coming right to the camera. Yo, it literally worked. I stabbed him in the head, and it literally worked.
Dear God, he's stronger than we could have ever imagined. He got stabbed in the head, but Baby Longlegs continues to just zoom around here.
Yo, he's literally climbing. Yo, he's literally climbing, guys. I'm literally gonna drop him too. Yo, I'm literally gonna drop him any second right now, guys. Yo, any second I'm literally gonna drop him. Yo, guys, he's literally so high. He's probably so high. I'm literally gonna drop him.
Yo, that was literally the fucking most extreme thing I've ever seen in my whole fucking life. Baby Longlegs was scaling the wall, thanks to the voodoo magic from Jay. And then he literally dropped him from the wall, sending him plummeting straight to hell. Yo, that was fucking nuts. Honestly, this was a pretty impressive video from start to finish. What Jay was able to do here is nothing shy of heroic. I think this was extremely brave to take on an entity as powerful as Baby Longlegs in his own house too. He brought Baby Longlegs in and took care of business. So hats off to him for this one, and luckily the world is safer for Jay's efforts here. And I just wanted to share this with all of you because I think it's important we realize that not all 3 a.m. videos are bad. That's about it. See ya. Oh, you guys want to see something cool before I forget? I found this earlier today. I think this is proof that there will never be a competitor to YouTube, at least not on the same scale. Let me show you a perfect example of how expensive and how difficult it must be to run a service like YouTube. This channel has 2 million videos. One channel, 2 million videos that range from a minute to 5 minutes. This is a single channel. There is no entity on the planet besides Google that can afford to host a platform like YouTube when you have maniacs like this using it. Is it run by AI or something? I got curious, so I did a little deep dive. So what he does is he records 4 or 5 intros, like portrait mode, and then here, you know, let me, instead of tell you, let me show you.
This video will quickly show you a technical question as well as possible solutions. I hope you subscribe and like, because that would really help me and my family, and I hope you enjoy the video. God bless.
So every video starts with some variation of that. Hey, nice to see you. This video you're about to watch has a question, a technical question, as well as a possible solution. And he has like 5 stock videos where he says different variations of that, and then takes like a Google suggested question and just like a generated answer. So made for maximum efficiency. So any video you click on is going to have some intro like that to kind of give the illusion that he was making this like himself as opposed to just AI dumping. Though I don't think it's AI dumping either. I think it's just a mass upload of just procedurally generated videos. Yep. 2 million videos like that. 2 million. And I decided to look up his stats because I was curious. So on Social Blade, he gets about 1 million views a month. So 2 million uploads. He has 25 million total views at about 1 million views a month. The server space he alone would occupy on a startup would be enough to sink it into eternal bankruptcy. Because he is just flooding it. How old are those intro clips? I didn't go too far back, but he's used them for the last 2 weeks. Here, let's go back a little further. Jesus Christ, we're still in 7 days. Because you can tell they're all on the same day because he still has that cut on his lip. So it's not like he actually records any new ones. He just keeps recycling the same like 3 or 4. I actually didn't look at what his most viewed video is. Let's see. But yeah, I'm pretty sure someone in chat nailed it. It's a bot that registers like Stack Overflow or something. So like these questions and shit, all of it, just bot. His most viewed video is 2 years ago, 109,000 views.
Subscribe
and he still has the cut on his lip 2 years ago. He's been using the same fucking ones every single time. This is a YouTube money laundering technique. Man, that fucking phrase has lost all meaning. This is not money laundering. This is zero money. Zero money everywhere for this channel. Even at 1 million views a month, he is making at most probably about $800 to $900. Because the videos are so short, so he's not getting a ton from them. Because they stay in that like 1 to 5 on the upper echelon ballpark. But I guess it's for zero work too, since it's all a bot that does it for him, I'm pretty sure. So I guess it's 800 to 900 for doing fucking nothing. This is just one channel, by the way. Like, that is so wild to me. Like, the fact YouTube doesn't just shut him down. Like, I feel like they could shut him down and it'd be such a defensible position. Like, this guy uploads 55 videos a day of just bot-generated content because he is losing us 25 grand a year in server costs just from him. Or a month in server costs just from him. It's 75,000 a month. No, I don't think it's 75,000, right? Wouldn't it be? I think it'd be 1,700. I think you went a little too hard. I think it's 1,700 a month. Oh, I didn't realize people were talking about it. I found this on like a really like obscure thread. I actually think it was LSF. Oh, actually, no. You know what it was? I was going down the hey yeah rabbit hole because that's got some crazy lore to it as well. So I remember exactly how I ended up here. I was watching this because I had recently watched this, where Charming Joe fucking killed it. And I was like, damn, you know what? Now I need to go watch the original. And then it turns out this channel, Proto, is not the original. This guy stole the video off Vimeo from the original. And apparently Wavy made a video on it and I never saw it. But he stole this from the original creator. It was called Fabulous Secret Powers. It was uploaded to Something Awful. They uploaded it to Vimeo. Proto snapped the end and beginning off and just uploaded like the main hook, and his blew up to 200 mil. These guys, the creators, tried to reach out to him just asking for credit, but Proto has been radio silent. He has never responded, nor has he logged in 11 years. He made this, or stole this video, then posted this piece of shit, and has never logged in since. So they couldn't get in contact. So then Slack Circus, the channel that actually created it, tried their best to take down the video and, you know, get recognition for their hard work, but then realized that no one was going to find them after taking it down, and it was just a bad net loss because now you lose a piece of internet history. But they took it down hoping to get his attention. Proto just never logged in again. He's probably dead. He's probably 6 feet under, but he never logged in, so he didn't care that it got taken down. They never heard back. They realized people were very sad the video was gone, so they let the video come back up, and now they just leave this as well as that up because it's part of internet history. People love it. And then I was in the comments for some reason on Fabulous Secret Powers, and someone was talking about how fucked up it is that YouTube's been overrun with people that are stealing memes or AI-generated content. I think they were talking about Finger Family. And then someone was like, speaking of AI-generated content, what about this guy? And then they linked this channel with 2 million videos. And that's how I ended up here. It was such a fucking crazy ride to get here. Looks like he's been a known figure for quite a while. What about community posts? Yep. So he is there, but he uses the same 3 intro videos of himself with a cut on his lip to try and give the illusion that he's like actually making the videos himself. But, I mean, he's clearly not. Like, here's a video 11 hours ago. Here's him with a cut on his lip saying the same script that he said in the million other videos. His most popular video from 2 years ago, it's the same thing.
Like my video, and I hope it will give you that.
What's his oldest one? So it looks like he started 8 years ago.
Hi, welcome to this video about Reducer.
So he actually used to do real tutorials. And then figured it'd be easier just to have a bot do it. It looks like this is when he started using the bot 3 years ago. So in 3 years, he has uploaded 2 million videos. Holy shit. Actually, no, wait, you're right. Because looking at this Social Blade, his account was made in 2012, but it looks like he only started botting these videos 3 years ago. So 3 years, 2 million videos. It's way more than 55 a day. You're absolutely right. 55 a day was working off of like a decade of posting. It's absolutely a lot more than that. K4 says it's 1,800 videos a day. Holy fuck. Holy shit. Oh my god. That's so crazy. What a fucking maniac. Yeah, he makes roughly $800 a month off of it. And it's $800 a month for doing nothing, so it's a smart grind. So yeah, there will never be an actual competitor to YouTube. No one could put up with what YouTube does. Nobody has that money, that server capacity. Why does he actually do this? I believe the idea is simple. Flood the algorithm with as much as possible so that way you have a chance of getting picked up. Which is why he does technical questions, technical answers, because people are always looking for solutions to technical problems because there's endless obstacles you'll encounter. So he's hoping, he's casting a very wide net, the widest net imaginable, that he will be the place that catches all the questions to get those views. What questions are left? I have no fucking idea. I'm not a man who's Googling technical questions. Most I Google is, can you put a chess bot in anal beads? Which I don't think he has the answer to. If you Google who uploaded the most videos in YouTube history, his name pops up. Okay, so then he's a pretty well-known figure then. I've never heard of him. I found him in an obscure comment section. Congrats though, Roll. It's paying off. Shane Dawson, conspiracy theory king, arch enemy of Chuck E. Cheese, and now serial cat cummer. If you've been on Twitter or the internet in the last 24 hours, you've heard about the drama surfacing where Shane Dawson told a story about how he used his cat as a fleshlight and then cum rag. On a podcast like 10 years ago, he told a story that he spread his cat's leg, humped it, and then ejaculated all over it. Let me just play the clip real quick so we're all on the same page.
I didn't penetrate. I laid the cat down on her back and then I moved her little chicken legs, like, you know, spread open or whatever. And I was like, if I just like hump, but like on her tummy, like that's not weird, like whatever. And then I humped it, and it kept going, and it came all over the cat.
No, you did not.
It was like my first sexual experience.
No
I was also
way.
like 19, so it's like, you know.
Wait a minute. Wait a second. Did you just say you came on a cat?
Guys, I think.
What a story, Shane. Amazing. Not even J.K. Rowling could have told a better story than that one right there. In response to all this coming to light, Shane went to Twitter and posted a series of tweets that was just like, hey, you know, it's edgy humor from my past 10 years ago. I'm haunted by it. I sometimes still can't sleep because my asshole tingles just thinking about the disgusting shit I used to say. Just all in all, it's a joke. And I think that's totally fine. Everything should be allowed to be joked about. I think nothing should be off limits when it comes to comedy. But this joke is just really shitty, Shane. It's super fucking awful, and you can't use the excuse it was 10 years ago because jokes existed 10 years ago. It's not like a modern invention with jokes. Like, comedy was there 10 years ago. Effective comedy. And speaking of effective comedy, go check out twitch.tv/moistcritical for the most gut-bustin', hootin' streams you'll ever find. No one knows if he actually came on his cat or not. You'd have to ask the cat. But it's a really poor attempt at an edgy joke or storytelling joke because it's so goddamn hard to decide whether or not it's real or not. Did he fuck his cat? Did he not fuck his cat? He's Schrodinger's cat fucker. Because there's no telling. He structures it like it's a true story about how he fucking spreads his cat's legs goatsy style and then comes on it. It's very odd. And I have nothing against edgy humor. I think everything can be joked about, and that's totally fine by me. A little tip to aspiring comedians: if you're trying to work with cat fucking material and a la Shane Dawson style here, maybe try and revise that and clean it up a little bit, make it a little cleaner with better delivery so that way people know you're joking about fucking a cat, because cat fucking material is not landing on the internet right now, it seems. So just a little pro tip for you there. But anyway, the reason why this doesn't work as an edgy joke, a story joke, or even a joke in general is because of the ambiguity on whether or not it's a joke or not, because you can't tell. And I guess that's kind of the point Shane was going for, like, ha, I want people to think I'm a cat fucker, but the joke's on them. I've never fucked my cat. I would never do that. I respect my cat. But I want them to think that I disrespected my cat with my cum. XD random lol humor. And this, I know it's 10 years ago, and that's when, you know, the XD lol random rar hold your sporks in the air narwhal baconers at midnight, when that kind of humor was big. I understand that. But even back then, I can't imagine people would listen to that and laugh at it. It's not a story that really garners a hoot and a holler. It's not like a side-splitting story. It seems more like it's going for edgy shock humor, maybe, and failing on that regard as well. At best, people think you tell a shitty joke. At worst, people think you actually came on your cat. It's a lose-lose with the story you told. And, you know, it's not a big deal that you want to joke about fucking your cat and coming on it or anything, Shane. You can do that to your heart's content, man. You can joke about fucking that cat till the cows come home, for all I care. I think everything should be allowed to be joked about. Totally fine by me, but you told a really shitty joke, and that's what people should focus on, how bad the joke is, instead of the subject matter of the joke. Because comedy, I, again, think should be not subject to all kinds of restrictions. Everything should be allowed to be joked about. So, entirely within your right, Shane. If you want to talk about fucking your mom, you know, like, at one time my mom brought me these bomb-ass Totinos, so I bent her over the counter and I rim-jobbed her. If you want to make a joke about that, go for it. That's totally fine by me. But make it a good joke, not a shitty joke like this. All in all, probably the worst joke I've heard from a YouTuber, and I've heard some real stinkers, but this one takes the cake. You really have outdone yourself with this one past Shane, because now there's always going to be that lingering doubt, that implanted thought in the back of everyone's mind that follows you as to whether or not you really came on a cat. You told the joke so bad that the public perception of you is now a cat fucker to some people. That's pretty special. That's what makes this probably the worst joke a YouTuber has told. I don't think I can think of a single other case where YouTubers told a joke or a fake story that made people actually believe there was some type of heinous, rampaging cum maniac using animals as cum socks. It's fucking wild what you've done with the joke on this one, Shane. But anyway, that's it. See ya. I had perhaps one of my best ideas ever last week, and it was for a tier list because I've been really fucking into making tier lists recently. Basically, the tier list was a YouTuber's asshole tier list based on taste. And I don't think many YouTubers would let me just straight up eat out their asshole, just give them a rim job and put it on a tier list. So instead, I remembered something that I learned about back in college called edible anus arrangements, which is a take-home asshole mold that you apply to your butthole and then ship into the company, which turns it into a chocolate based on the impression from your real-life God-given brown balloon knot. It takes your chocolate starfish and turns it into a gourmet chocolate to be enjoyed by your friends and family. And I thought this would be a great idea to get YouTubers' assholes, not only put them on display, but try them, and see which YouTubers have the best tasting assholes. Does Jacksepticeye's fudge portal taste different than PewDiePie's? And does it look better? You know, I'd grade it on a bunch of different criteria, and I thought it would have been a very interesting tier list, but I underestimated how apprehensive people were to putting mold in their ass. You know, for me personally, it's like, yeah, I wouldn't want to do that. Like, I wouldn't just be kicking back on a Saturday with a Miller Lite in hand and putting mold in my ass. But if it's for the sake of a tier list and for science, I'd take one for the team. I'd be a good sport about it, like a real champion. I'd trooper through that. But I guess not everyone thinks the same way, and a lot of people are shy about how their asshole looks, I suppose. And there was just a lot of factors that I didn't consider. So surprisingly, there wasn't a whole lot of interest from the YouTuber community in letting me try their assholes, so I don't believe I'll ever get the chance to make this tier list. Maybe somebody else could try and get this going, like maybe Mr. Beast could organize a YouTuber asshole eating competition for $100,000 and you win your own island. I don't really know. But for now, it looks like I won't be able to make this tier list, and I think it's a real shame because I thought it was one of the best tier list ideas that's ever been hatched in this corporeal dimension we inhabit. I thought it was an absolute fucking banger of an idea. And honestly, I think the reason a lot of people declined is because they looked up edible anuses, and there's a video on YouTube where some girl goes to get an edible anus made of her butthole, and she didn't bother to wipe her ass, so when they take the mold off her ass, there's just a bunch of like shit particles all over it, just crusty little shits hanging all over the mold. And that was also a hazard that I didn't stop to think about, because what if one of the YouTubers decides to play a 3 a.m. prank on me with a haunted butthole, where they take a shit and they don't wipe or clean themselves, and then they do the asshole mold impression, ship it away, and by the time I get it, I'm literally just dining on their fucking shit. Which would be terrible, but a great prank, which was something I didn't think about. So honestly, it might be for the best that everyone that I asked declined, and declined pretty outright. There was almost not even like that kind of attempt to fake interest in it where people are like, oh, it sounds like a great idea, but I'm gonna have to pass. It was just a straight up no, what is wrong with you? Which makes sense. I can totally respect that. I also imagine some people are just kind of afraid of it, because especially if you have a hairy asshole, like you might accidentally give yourself like a fucking Brazilian wax with it, which would hurt very badly. And it might even leave a weird impression where your butthole looks like it was attacked by fucking Wolverine from the X-Men. I don't really know what kind of role asshole hair would even play in the impressions of the ass. So, I mean, there's so much, you know, unknown variables that could have come into play there that, honestly, it really might be for the best that everyone declined that idea. But I think, on paper, that's probably one of the best fucking ideas YouTube has ever seen. It's just, unfortunately, we're not in the right day and age to really make it happen. The technology's not there yet. Until we can get actual edible anuses made without using physical mold, I just don't think we'll get there. So hopefully DARPA can get on that project and make edible anuses without needing the mold. Perhaps you could just 3D print someone's ass in chocolate using only pictures, but we're not there yet. And yeah, just wanted to share this with you because I thought it was such a great fucking idea. That's about it. So yeah. YouTube comments have become synonymous with degeneracy. YouTube comments are like piles of dog shit you encounter on the sidewalk during like a Sunday afternoon stroll, but it's not like random piles of dog shit like accidental. This is like deliberate dog shit placed on the sidewalk just for you to feel worse about, like someone doing fucking snow angels in the dog shit or hand painting it on the sidewalk just to make your walk a little worse. That's what YouTube comments have become, and it's never really been a problem because every big platform has that issue. It's a people problem. Twitter has it like a motherfucker, Reddit, Facebook, all of the big social platforms have the same exact issue, but now there's one guy who made a video about pedophiles commenting on videos of children on YouTube, and he had everyone go to the advertisers to report it to them, so that way all the advertisers would pull out, which has happened. Adpocalypse 2 is upon us, so that's going on at the moment. And now YouTube's solution to get the advertisers back on to make them feel safe is they're starting to disable comments on a channel-wide basis. The first channel this happened to that I've seen is Will. He can no longer post any or have videos with any comments enabled on them. It's out of his control. YouTube has disabled it for him. The picture he posted on Twitter makes it very clear that this seems to be the direction they're going. And I don't blame YouTube at all. YouTube has genuinely no options here. There's nothing they can fucking do except remove comments on a platform-wide basis. You can't have like a department of super sleuths going through every single comment on every single video on the platform, line by line. Oh, what the fuck is this? That stanza 3 is a little inappropriate. Blast that shit out of here. Advertisers won't like that one. It's impossible. It's too much. So logically, the only thing they can do is just get rid of comments, which it looks like they're doing. And it's not like they can have like a system or an algorithm in place to like monitor and police every single comment, because that just can't fucking be done. Skynet 2,000 years from now probably couldn't come up with a system as complex as that to detect what are bad and creepy comments and immediately get rid of them. It just can't be done. And YouTube can't even make a simple functioning copyright system. It's just so fucking primitive when it comes to these algorithms that there's no feasible way they could come up with something to automatically get rid of creeps on the platform. Can't be done. The fucking copyright system is so goddamn archaic. If I hum the Halo theme song right now, I could get claimed by Katy Perry for stepping on her copyright toes. It's super, super shitty. So there's no way they could do that, and you obviously can't hire a team to do that because it's too much work for real people. So the comments have to go. Which is super fucked up, but there's really no other option for them. I don't defend YouTube, you guys know that. I'm the first to drop trousers and take a steamy fat fart right on the face of YouTube's decisions they've been making over the years, because they're just bad decisions and bad ideas they've been implementing. But in this case, it's out of their hands. There was no other choice. There's literally nothing else they could do in this situation except just get rid of comments, because advertisers pulling out for this doesn't stop people from commenting horrible shit on videos. Those two aren't related at all. A bad person isn't going to just stop posting some creepy shit on a video just because Disney isn't advertising on the platform anymore. They're not going to be like, oh man, well, Disney's not on YouTube anymore. I guess I really shouldn't comment this. That's not going to stop them. All that hurts is everyone that uses the platform normally. So the only thing YouTube can do to make sure that people can still use the platform to have a living off of is get rid of comments. That way advertisers feel safer that there's not some creepy guy being openly creepy in the comment section. So I don't blame YouTube. And I'm really surprised that it's YouTube even taking the fall here first, because Twitter has a massive fucking problem in this department. I've seen trending hashtags for pedophile communities being super open about being pedophiles. Fucking hashtag pedophile appreciation day, hashtag high five a pedophile, creepy shit like that. And it's not an issue on Twitter apparently, despite it being super on display a lot. Some absolutely disgusting, deplorable shit on Twitter, so I'm sure their shitstorm's right around the corner. But in YouTube's case, it wasn't just the creepy comments. They also had a really fucked up algorithm that just kept recommending more and more creepy shit, like some over-eager salesman at a flea market trying to get your attention just with more and more creepy shit. So hopefully they fix that. But in terms of the comment section, I don't like that they're getting rid of it, but they just didn't have a choice, as I've said a couple times now. I just feel like a lot of people are blaming YouTube now for this step when I really just don't think it's their fault. Think about it this way. Let's say there was a huge movement to boycott Gillette razors, a hashtag wake up Gillette, because it turns out a pedophile used their razors one time. Well, now no one wants to touch Gillette, no one wants to work with Gillette because now their razor had a pedophile use it. So no one's going to fucking use it. They're being boycotted. How the fuck do they ensure that no pedophiles use their razor? You can't just have like a box that you check before purchasing a Gillette razor that says, oh, not a pedophile. That wouldn't work. So what do? The only way you can ensure that no bad people use your product is to just take it off the shelves. So Gillette would have to remove all their razors to make sure no pedophiles ever use the razor. That's what YouTube's doing with the comment section, to make sure no bad people use the comment section. It's really just not their fucking fault, and it sucks. It's just impossible to police every single comment and every single user on the site. Even if you flagged every single account, they could just make another one and keep posting creepy shit. I wanted to just make this to let you all know why the comments will likely be disabled on my videos, because it's out of my hands. It seems like this is the route they're going, and I'm sure my account will be hit by it as well. It wasn't me that turned off comments. I wanted to keep reading your screeching comments about my hair being too long and how it needs to be cut. I also really wanted to keep diving deeper into, haha, this guy's embarrassingly short at 5'6". Those were some quality fucking top-notch comments, and I wanted to keep reading that top-shelf comedy. It wasn't me that turned it off. is the point I'm making. And sarcasm aside, I think the comment section on any platform is extremely valuable. I think it's a very important component to have in anything, to have feedback, to be able to read what other people are saying about it. And even more importantly, it puts Justin Y out of a job. That man has spent 24 hours a day over the last fucking 2 years commenting on every single video on the site. It's incredible. And now that man's, the fuck is he gonna do? Justin, I'm sorry, man. I hope this doesn't go through. I wish you Godspeed. But again, not me that's going to be turning off the comments if it happens to me, and I'm sure it will. Just wanted to let you all know, and that's rest in peace, YouTube comment section. You had a good run. Take it easy, everyone. See ya. This morning I learned that I'm a foot fetish icon, voted the best feet on YouTube. Kind of like how Helen of Troy had an entire war fought over her beauty, the foot fetishists are fighting a war over my feet. That's how beautiful they are. And I can't say I'm overly surprised. I've always put a big emphasis on my foot care routine, making sure they're well hydrated, scraping off any excess crust and skin flakes, keeping them in tip-top near mint condition shape. PSA 10 feet. Now let me just take a little victory lap here and show you what gold medal winning feet look like here. This is my Wiki Feet page where I was awarded the prestigious honor of best feet on YouTube. My feet have actually broken their metric here. I've gone above and beyond what science thought possible, scoring a 5.46 out of 5. Actually went off the fucking scale here with how incredible my feet are. This has become the Library of Alexandria for still images of my feet. And it is an incredible collection. This compendium of Charles White feet pics is astounding, inspiring even. They've certainly done their homework when gathering these photographs. They've even got this wonderful action shot here where I'm gripping the Yu-Gi-Oh boxes with my foot to prevent them from collapsing. I can only imagine the amount of wet dreams and filled trousers that came as a result of this picture being up on the site. And now, as flattered as I am to have this prestigious honor of being the best feet on YouTube, I do have to point out a couple of inaccuracies on the page. For my shoe size, they have me listed as a size 8 US. I don't know where the fuck this number comes from. Nothing could be further from the truth. I actually fit snug into a size 10 and actually rock a 10.5 just so there's a little breathing room for my feet to just have a little wiggle room to play with, just to, you know, make sure it's not suffocating my feet down there. So I don't know where they've pulled this number out, straight from their asshole, because I do not wear a size 8. I haven't worn a size 8 since I was 2 years old. A size 8 is a ludicrous accusation and almost feels like an insult to me. Yes, I know I'm 5'6", but I do have big feet. I'm like an actual fucking hobbit. So size 8 is laughable. My little NBA score sheet here for feet is just way wrong. It's not even close, so hopefully that gets rectified. Make sure everything stays accurate. But aside from Dr. Scholl getting the wrong shoe size for me here, everything else just looks tip-top. It looks fantastic. A nice selection of 171 photos of my feet. Like, you couldn't ask for a better birthday or Christmas gift. But I wanted to see how my feet ranked against other popular YouTubers' feet, so I did a little research of my own to see who else is entered into this database, and I found Jacksepticeye has a page, so I wanted to see how Sean's feet were doing on here. Sean's page is pretty intimidating. He means business. Like, just look at this. He's got himself in like a Kama Sutra position here, trying to appease the feet gods. It's almost like he's coming out here trying to appeal to Wiki Feet, and it still wasn't good enough. Only a pathetic 5.44 out of 5. I absolutely eclipse him in Wiki Feet, and I don't know if it's anything to go by. They probably got it wrong here too, but it also lists his shoe size as a 9.5, which means my feet are also significantly bigger than Sean's feet. So I thought if Sean was no contest, who else could challenge my reign as the best feet on YouTube? And I thought, well, naturally the next best would probably be Markiplier, right? I mean, he's probably got some big ol' fucking man feet, like some big fucking stompers that they probably love at Wiki Feet. So I checked it out. Going to Markiplier's page, I wasn't sure if I went to his page or an actual foot fetishist page where I'm looking at foot porn, because this looks like it was catered just for Wiki Feet here. Markiplier clearly knows the Wiki Feet game pretty well. He's got all kinds of pictures here that really fit right at home, so I thought it was over. I got scared. I started angrily shaking my fist in the air. Damn you, Markiplier, curse you! You beat me on YouTube and feet now? Have you no mercy? But then as it turns out, Markiplier, with a measly 5.43 out of 5. I couldn't help but laugh to myself. Absolute rookie numbers, not even worthy of being in the same sentence as Charles White's wiki feat here. Really just a disgraceful showing. You're gonna have to pump this shit up, Markiplier, if you want to be taken seriously by the foot fetish community. You're gonna have to like do some crazy shit like give yourself a foot job, put your dick in between both feet and go wild or something. I mean, you're gonna have to really pull out all the stops if you want to reach my level of feet expertise. So Markiplier was no threat to my championship belt here, and I thought YouTubers didn't even stand a chance against me. But what about real-world celebrities? So I looked up Brendan Fraser's wiki feet, thinking for sure this man's got to have a 10 out of 5 for his feet. And as it turns out, for some reason, they don't really like Brendan Fraser's feet over there. Brendan Fraser's feet are sitting at a 4.63 out of 5, which ordinarily on a standard scale is a pretty good score, but given that this scale can be broken and pushed past its limits constantly, especially when it comes to my feet, I just can't help but be a little disappointed that they don't see the beauty of Brendan Fraser's feet. I mean, they're the feet of a god. And so, knowing all this, I think it could be safely assumed that I have the highest rated feet of all time across all of foot fetishism, which is fantastic. And I'd say it's about damn time. So now all of you know that I have the best feet out of any YouTuber or perhaps any person on the planet. That's about it. So yeah. Oh, I've seen this girl's channel. This is a fetish. This girl just like blasts mean burps into the camera for 50-some videos. It's like really gross. Like, I burp a lot, but my burps are kind of like innocent sounding, not like revolting, repulsive shit. Her burps are like disgusting.
Hey everyone, it's your favorite. Ooh.
Yeah, I've seen this one.
Hey
She shit her
everyone,
pants.
It's your favorite. Oh, burping girl, Andrea,
Yeah.
and today we have some corn nuts, barbecue flavor. Ooh.
The comments are what always get me. Though there are still some weird ones. Can you show feet and burp on them? So. That fart was... To be fair, it was a good fart. I'll leave that a thumbs up, I agree. That fart was top notch. I could literally hear the shit hitting her underpants. How much would it cost for a private session with you to what, like just burp at him? I love farts from Brazil. That sounds about right. Porn has been taken over by Brazilian fart porn. I don't know how often you guys go on Pornhub, but like almost the only thing left on there is fart porn.
Ooh, they're pretty stinky on their own.
Ooh, ooh, listen to that stink sound. Very rank.
Crunchy.
Actually, I don't know if I've seen this one. Maybe she just like shits her pants at the beginning of all of them. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Now we're feeling it. I can hear the relief.
They're so good.
Mm-hmm. I'm like vicariously tasting them.
Ooh, these are making my burps stink.
Mmm. What does it
Come
smell
closer
like?
so you can
Ass?
smell them.
Yes. Ooh, yes, corn nuts. Oh my god. How abhorrent. Yucky. What true God-given talent.
You hear that crunch?
Yeah. Oh, surprise. A little more than I bargained for. I think we're a little overdue for more Burping Girl content, but hey, if you guys aren't interested in seeing what real content looks like, then I can't help you with your bad taste.
A lot of good meat in them. There's 5 to 7 different types of meat in a turtle. Oh yeah.
5 to 7 different types of meat in a turtle? No, there is not. What are you eating? Turtle chimera? There's only one type of meat in a turtle. Turtle meat, I imagine. It doesn't look like moonshine at all. It just looks like someone's menstrual cycle that they jarred up.
It's a safer thing to do at night. You take a less chance of getting caught.
Just stop flavoring moonshine. Like, it's so worthless. No one's drinking moonshine for the fucking flavors. Ah, I put a nice little garnish on this one. Ah, this one tastes like Fruit Loops. Great.
Taste that mulberry.
Who gives a
all day
fuck?
long, Guinea.
Yeah, I hear you, chat. What do we want? More burping girl. When do we want her? Uh-oh. Ooh, it's gonna get stinky. Oh, she can't even make it home. Oh, she took down my internet.
I am so.
Oh, no, we're back.
When am I never? Where a burping girl can be herself.
What kind of aspect ratio was all of that filmed in? This looks like someone was looking through a box at one of the carnivals from the 80s, and they saw like pictures of boobies, but instead they just get
Hey Charlie, I just
burping
got my
girl.
first page.
I
need more gassy food.
That was good camera work.
Yeah, they were delicious.
To be fair, the camera work there is better than anything in the DC movie universe. My goodness. Well, I think that's probably enough. She can't get stinkier than that. She's definitely peaked with that last one. You could literally feel the impact of little dookie droplets hitting her panties.